You're watching the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Hamby, you know football is a very important game to me, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody who has played it since, well, they were in first grade, started tackle football when I would have been in fifth grade, became a passion of mine, liked hockey too, but eventually would become the love of my life. I parlayed that love into my only scholarship offered at Murray State, and then I parlayed that, in a small town in Kentucky, I got drafted. And football afforded me a lot. It's afforded me really this job right now that you hear me talking to on the radio because I feel, the stream, because without football, I probably wouldn't have been here. Yeah, I went to school for communications, but hey, it kind of helps to have that football background. What I'm trying to say is that football has been my entire life. With that being said, in all my years of playing football, studying it, living it, loving it, didn't know there was a rule where you get a free kick field goal. Had no idea a free kick field goal was even a thing. 9:30 last night, put my son down to sleep. He was excited. And I say his now because he's a Denver Broncos fan. Sorry, Jaguars. Got to win some more games. Sorry. He's now officially a Denver Broncos fan. Well, he's going to bed happy because at the time, the Denver Broncos were up. Around 9:30, 9:35, we go to bed. Takes about, 5 minutes. We talk a little bit. We say, our prayers and everything. We're all good. I walk back downstairs and I see what looks like a kickoff. And I'm like, what just happened? There's no time on the clock. And then I see the ball go through the uprights. And lo and behold, the Chargers get 3 points. Mm-hmm. Hamby, be honest, all right? Because this is safe space. And yes, people in the chat, be honest as well. Did you know that there was a free kick rule that you could get a free kick field goal if you fair catch a punt and you're in range of a field goal? Did you know that?
Okay, so I have heard of a free kick.
Never even heard of it.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was happening until I needed it to be explained. I had heard of that term. I knew it was something.
Sure.
I didn't know what.
Last time it happened was 1976.
67, I think.
Oh, it was 66. I thought it was 76. Whatever the case. Hey,
matter.
I wasn't born yet. You weren't born yet. I'm not sure if Brent was. Brent was probably born then. I can't.
Probably not.
Probably not. Brent wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, he's not older than my parents.
Dude, I felt almost embarrassed because I was watching this with one of my friends. And everybody was like, "Yeah, so what's the rule here?" I go, "I'll be honest with you. I have no idea."
Played in the National Football League.
Played in the National Football League. You think? But here's the crazy thing, Hamby. I played in the National Football League. Yeah. I spent 5 years in the league. Yeah. I've probably had 6 different special team coaches. Through that duration of my entire career. Not once, not in a meeting, not in an OTA, not in a film session with our special teams coach, did we ever go over the free kick for a field goal.
So you're telling
Never.
So you're telling me when Sean Payton did his halftime interview and he goes, yeah, we practice it.
As someone, and once again, keep in mind, I wasn't on necessarily like the best teams in the National Football League. Like, okay. But no, not once did we ever even talk about it. And I was on special teams, right? For some of it. We never talked about it once. So when that went down last night, Hamby, I was in shock. I was at a loss for words because everything that I thought I knew about the game completely was turned upside down.
Yeah.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
Hey, guess what?
Yeah.
Your boy's in the middle of a fantasy football playoff battle.
Hit me with it.
And your boy has Cameron Dicker. So I'm the biggest fan of the free kick there is.
Number one, that's amazing.
57-yarder.
So what was it, 5 points you get for that?
Yeah.
Or you get 6 points?
Yeah.
5 points for that? Yeah, I've...
Appreciate you. Weird NFL rule.
And like another thing, too, because this was on Amazon Prime, and I think you could probably go back and watch it. Like, I'm sure the game has a replay. Because like if it was just YouTube TV, I DVR the football games, right? So if it's YouTube TV, I go back, watch it easy. I'm not sure with Amazon Prime, but then imagine having to, well, two things, explain to my son when I woke up this morning, hey, number one, Justin Herbert's kind of the real deal and your Denver Broncos got beat. Sorry about it.
Right.
And number two, you just missed the craziest play I've ever seen in the National Football League. Sorry about it as well. And when he tried to explain it, like, well, what happened? I'm like, you know what, man? You just had to be there. Yeah, right. I could try to explain like where I guess if you fair catch it and the clock's at 0, you get an opportunity to kick the free kick, but there's a penalty and the half can't end in a penalty, so they moved them up and that's what happened, and then they free kicked it and it's 3 points and I had no idea what was going on and that was history and you missed it, son, but it's all good because when I'm long and gone 10 feet or 8 feet under someplace, I'm sure it'll happen once in your lifetime, maybe. I mean, it happened in, 76 or 67? We haven't really established it, Hamby, but it happened a long time ago.
That's right.
It's a rare occurrence, man. Couldn't believe it. So now that I got that out of my system.
Justin Herbert.
Did you watch the game last night?
I did.
Okay. Did you watch the pregame last night?
I did not.
Okay.
I was a game time decision, getting home right at 8:15.
No, we're all good. Listen. And listen, I'm not going to speak on behalf of Brent. By the way, Brent's flying to Las Vegas, doing that whole thing. So it's just going to be me and Hamby holding down the fort while Brent is gone. But thank you for joining us on a Friday.
Austin, real quick.
What do you got, man?
With the Pacific time, right? And we like to contemplate the life of Brent practically.
That West Coast, some call it the best coast. Yep.
Over under 3 tweets or texts sent to us or anything like that.
During our show?
No.
Oh.
After midnight local time.
Oh, yeah. Can we address that real quick, too? Obviously, I'm kind of on a schedule, right?
It's going to be 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Brent's going to be on a heater at the sports book.
Yeah.
Betting Notre Dame money line.
Well, hey, can we talk about last night real quick? And yeah, phone's on silent. Phone's also on vibrate. Fell asleep with my phone in my bed. Not a good decision. Why is the group chat texting at like 4 o'clock in the morning and then like at 6 o'clock in the what is going on?
I think Brent was first of all, he's flying, so he maybe didn't sleep.
Sleep?
Maybe he was trying to make sure we were good.
Hey. Acting like he's never been gone from the show before. Acting like I haven't done this, I don't know, like it seems like 30 times this year. I think we'll be all right.
He couldn't sleep because he was dreaming of the parlay that he's conjuring up at Aria.
Well, and then somehow we had somebody from a different show, like the Miller Moulton show, wanted to text like their picks in because we do our picks on Friday.
Yep.
So that was like a 3 o'clock text. Just wait till normal
that one.
Business hours. I got it. It was in like the group text thing for like the bets. I don't know, man. Needless to say, my phone was just a giant vibration in my bed last night, waking me up. But it's all good. Not like I'm in fight camp or anything. But now getting back to Justin Herbert.
Yes.
And
the pregame show.
The pregame, well, everything in totality. Mm-hmm. Brent has said this before. He said that it's very comparable between Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence. I disagree. And last night before the game, this is more like Ryan Fitzpatrick, but it was kind of the whole panel was saying, like Herbert's still got to show something, right? He still has to climb that echelon to be considered one of the best in the league and everything. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, what else does this? Yeah, a Super Bowl is going to be nice,
right?
A playoff run is going to be nice, but I don't think any of that. I mean, it's the quarterback and wins and losses, and this is why Trevor gets such a bad rap. But am I wrong to think that Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL?
No. And so I was in this boat that they're comparable, him and Trevor Lawrence, before the year. Okay. We had this conversation last week.
Yes.
And I told you, and I think Brent said the same, that obviously this year he has distinguished himself. He is separated, but our argument was that he had not before the start of the season. Okay. There's no argument now.
Thank you.
He's the 5th best quarterback in the NFL. He's playing like it right now.
And this was the thing. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick said he's number 8. Okay. And then I'm like, all right, give me 7 quarterbacks that are better than Justin Herbert right now.
So he would say Jalen Hurts is better? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. I roll Justin Herbert over Hurts. Like, yeah, obviously you have your Lamar Jacksons, you got your Josh Allens, you got your Joe Burrow, and I think even I'll give it to Joe Burrow, obviously. I mean, give me some more Patrick Mahomes, obviously.
Right.
So that's 4. We need 4 more quarterbacks three more quarterbacks that are supposedly better than Justin Herbert. And I don't buy into it. And you alluded to it, Hamby. Listen, I understand Ladd McConkey's your boy and everything, but he's still a rookie.
Right.
And yeah, sure, he had Patrick Surtain in the spin cycle a couple times last night. But if you look at what Justin Herbert's throwing to and what his numbers are, I get he had a bad pick. It was a bad throw last night. But he still willed his team to a victory against a Broncos defense that everyone was saying is the real deal.
Right.
So, okay, and then we want to say, okay, well, it's Jim Harbaugh. It's Jim Harbaugh's doing it. He reestablished the offensive line. The offense firing on all cylinders. He gets the best out of his quarterback. Look, we do it with Colin Kaepernick. Yada, yada, yada. Like, at what point? Because here's the thing. We want to make up so many excuses for Trevor Lawrence and say why he's not an elite quarterback yet. And you know what? Some of those excuses are justified. Don't bring the EPA into it, but play calling, offensive line, drop balls, injuries, sure, why not? Let him have it. He gets the benefit of the doubt. But then when we want to say, oh, well, this is because of Jim Harbaugh. This is because of so-and-so. He had Keenan Allen his first go. Look, at some point, we got to stop making up excuses and just letting it ride and say, I think Justin Herbert's a pretty damn good quarterback.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. Like, I don't know if it's like the Mike Trout effect where you're on the West Coast a little bit so people won't always get to watch. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't get where the animosity comes from. And then once again, too, if you want to go back to the pre-show, they're saying how, like he's more of a quiet individual. Was he? Because I saw him drop an F-bomb and in the pregame, like huddle or whatever. So he does have some fire to him. I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone sometimes when people don't want to give Justin Herbert his flowers.
Well, somebody who is giving Justin Herbert his flowers and borderlining on an insane glaze is Tony Gonzalez.
An insane glaze. Go ahead.
We had to me and my roommate are watching.
Yeah.
And I was doing some college football prep,
Sure.
And so I was half listening because at halftime, right?
Mm-hmm.
We kind of tune out a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he all of a sudden goes, bro, did you just hear that? Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, what happened? He rewinds. Tony Gonzalez, this line, verbatim. When you look at Justin Herbert, the quintessential good-looking quarterback, 6'5". And he said it like that and kept going. I was just like,
yeah,
holy cow, son.
Yeah.
Like, you went from pregame, now that you're telling me, we went from pregame sleeping on him to halftime glazing him, and he hadn't even played his best football yet.
Well, and
his best football was in the second half.
This is the wild thing, too, that I felt like they disrespected him a little bit during like that broadcast in the pregame. So, like, I stayed up late, man. Later than I should have, because you know what? I want to watch the post game when they bring Justin Herbert, the winning quarterback, on the desk and say, hey, all the things you were talking about Justin Herbert, say them now. But what happened?
Right.
Didn't even bring him on the desk. Had 2 other players.
Who do they have?
I can't remember who. The defensive guy. They didn't have him on, nevertheless.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I mean, like.
Probably Derwin.
Yes, thank you very much, Derwin James. Yeah.
Derwin's, figurehead.
Yeah, but still, quarterback leads him back from behind to win the game. Nothing. Okay, cool. Sounds good. When we talk about, hey, Wabby 400, yes, Uncle Brent is not here. Uncle Brent is in Las Vegas, hopefully taking it easy on the sports books, pacing himself a little bit. Not much to bet on right now. There might be some dart championships going on or something, or maybe some like D-League level soccer that he can put some money on, but that's about it. He asked me yesterday, he's like, hey, how much money would you bring to Las Vegas? And I just said, like, I don't know, my cards, but debit card. I don't know how much money's on my debit cards or my credit cards. But then he meant cash. And I'm like, I don't know.
He's trying to avoid the ATM fees, Austin.
Yeah, but go to the gas station.
They don't have fees?
Oh, they have fees. What? Okay, just to go to like a Wells Fargo and avoid the fees that we're talking about.
Yeah, just cash withdrawal.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I'm good. You're all set.
When I went to Vegas, okay. Keep in mind, I lived in Vegas for what? 5 weeks?
Yeah.
When I was there, I wasn't concerned about like bringing cold hard cash. Like, I wasn't gonna bring presidential pictures wrapped in rubber bands.
You were also training for a fight. Brent is out there.
Oh, gallivanting.
Yes.
Visiting the Hoover Dam, maybe. Who knows what he's doing?
Also, shouts to YB400. He was rocking with me We were in the chat.
Oh, dude's everywhere, man.
Oh, yeah, he's everywhere.
Bring him on the staff, man. Oh, and by the way, we'll get back to the game last night in a second. I'm going to set a precedent here since Brent Martineau's gone today. Whatever questions, comments you guys want in the chat that you would want me to answer or like you want to get my thoughts about, regardless of how crazy it is, I will be happy to answer them today.
We're going to have a segment called Ask Austen.
Yeah, maybe a segment called, just a whole show called Ask Austen. Anything you want to know about, playing football, fighting, my thoughts on whatever. I'll be truthful. I'll be honest. Let's keep it mildly clean, please, right? Because this is still,
I still have the power to.
We're trying to be professional. Yeah, we're trying to be professional. Meanwhile, College Game Day is dropping F-bombs like it's going out of style, but I can't even swear on this show. Not a big deal, though. But if you want to say something, any thoughts or anything, let's go, man. I'll answer some questions today in the chat. I don't always read it, but today I'll make it a habit because, it's Friday, Brent's not here, and I already got a foot in the parking lot. Now, getting back to Justin.
So does everybody listening.
No, for students, it's the holidays, man. Like we're starting to wind down a little bit, and it's all good. Hamby, I wanted to ask you this question though about Justin Herbert, because if you remember how that draft shook out, Tua Tagovailoa was also a quarterback in that draft, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he wasn't he. Or now am I wrong? Let me go back to the draft here quick. Yes. So you had Burrow, you had Tua, you had Herbert,
right?
And Herbert would have been 6. Okay. Tua was 5. And let me make sure I'm not missing anybody in the first round or like anybody. Oh, then you had Jalen Hurts in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
So and what's
Love later on.
And Love too, yeah. So what's wild about it is the fact that we talk about how Trevor's class, what may have been like a precedent in terms of quarterback talent with Mac Jones, with Zach Wilson, with Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
And yikes. Let me ask you this. I think obviously Joe Burrow is the top quarterback out of this group.
Yep.
Right? You take him number 1 overall. He fits that mold very well. Would you rather have Tua Tagovailoa, Miami took him at 5, or would you rather have Justin Herbert?
Herbert, not close.
Not even close?
No.
Not even close?
No.
Okay.
I think Herbert's like 5 or 6, and Tua's like a 14 or 15.
Okay. Now, and I get hindsight's 2020, but even if you take the injuries out of it, Hamby, it's clear in a way, Justin Herbert?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And look, I understand why Miami took him, but at the same time, we can't totally. I mean, this is a whole quarterback, your preference of what you like in your quarterback, but Tony Gonzalez is the whole, 6'5", quintessential good-looking quarterback.
Yeah.
Tua, not as necessarily mobile, 6'1", maybe, lefty.
Mm-hmm.
Little, whatever. I'm taking Justin Herbert all day.
All right. So
I'm taking Jordan Love over Tua too.
Are you taking Jordan Love over? By the way, Jordan Love was number 26th out of Utah State.
Mm-hmm.
Are you taking Jordan Love over Justin Herbert?
I have him almost tied. I think
really,
like 5,
even
6,
though you haven't really
7
seen, but I feel like the resume of Herbert's so much bigger.
I don't know. I felt like Jordan Love at the end of last year.
Will this team do a but to a playoff run?
And I understand that Dak threw 2 pick sixes.
Sure.
In that game, but that game was about Jordan Love being an unbelievable quarterback to me.
Yeah.
So I have him right there.
It's
no slack on Herbert, but I have them both.
It's why Jordan Love got paid. Okay, so we're gonna put Jordan Love, Herbert same category. So then where does Jalen Hurts fit in this thing?
He's that third tier to me.
So you have Joe Burrow, you got Jordan Love, Justin Herbert, comparable, and then below that you have Jalen Hurts and Tua, or is Jalen Hurts a little above Tua?
So the way I would separate it is 4 tiers there. The first is Burrow, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. That's the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL for me.
Okay.
Then my second tier is 4 through 7, which is your Justin Herberts, your Lamar Jacksons, and your Jordan Loves. Third is your Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Matt Stafford, all those
sure.
6 or 7 through 10 or 11.
Yep.
And then fourth is Tua, probably Trevor right now, and guys like that. Purdy, Geno. Well, maybe I guess Geno Smith, guys like that.
So why before I come in and say Hurts has to be by Herbert? See, that's why I'm surprised. I get I think the problem with Hurts this year, because we forget, dude, Hurts was in the MVP conversation a couple years ago.
Yeah.
All right, and to be fair, I'm not sure if Herbert's ever been in that vein, in that breath. I feel like Hurts is getting lost this year just because of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
But they're the top of the NFC. Well, set aside from the Lions, but like they're one of the top teams in the NFC right now for a reason. Like, yeah, Saquon's doing Saquon things, but it's more than just him.
18 tuds, 5 picks for Hurts.
For Jalen Hurts. How quiet is that? No one's. I mean, has anybody talked about Jalen Hurts at all?
Yeah.
I haven't heard about him. I'm not sure I was doing in fantasy because all we hear is about Saquon Barkley, and then we hear about A.J. Brown going off because he's frustrated.
Right.
It's wild. Let me ask you this, Hamby. And by the way, just out of curiosity now in retrospect, where is Kirk Cousins on this list?
23.
Do you think Kirk Cousins is the 23 best quarterback right now in the NFL?
Yeah.
And he got benched.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, but no, listen. There's a rhyme to my madness here. I'm not just bearing you. I'm going to something here. So if you watched the game last night with Justin Herbert too, it's evident because, and this was probably the biggest thing, Hamby, with him out of college was you didn't quite know if he had the capabilities. Yeah, he had the size. He has the dual threat capabilities, ability to run. If you watched him in the Rose Bowl against Wisconsin, I want to say he had like 3 rushing touchdowns. He absolutely tore Wisconsin apart with his legs. Embarrassing, especially from a Badgers defense at the time that actually played defense. You saw it last night, the ability to use the legs when you have to.
Yep.
And there's quarterbacks in this league, well, they may not be Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. They are dual threat guys. And I'll put Justin Herbert even in that category because he has the ability to take off for a 20 to 25-yard run if he has to.
Right.
Kirk Cousins, more of the statuesque quarterback.
Yep. Wherever he catches the snap is where he's going to be.
Hamby, let me ask you this then. Is Kirk Cousins like the last, well, and feel free to put Stafford in here, but like my point is Kirk Cousins really like one of the last fading stars of what we used to know as a quarterback? Meaning, if you're a statue now, you're obsolete.
Yeah.
You're behind the times, you're out of date, and you're prehistoric, and you better find a new position.
Yeah. I'm with that. I think Matt Stafford's probably the last guy because I think last week I was watching their game and he had a 10-yard scramble, and they gave some kind of stat where that was his first 10-yard scramble in, I think, years.
Sure.
And don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was something like that, or like he had only scrambled like 3 or 4 times for positive yardage all year, something like that. So Stafford is kind of the last star.
Because I'm trying to look at him. I'm trying to go through all the names right now in the NFL in terms of like threat to run.
Right.
Now, granted, like Cleveland, they're just kind of whatever.
Right.
But Deshaun Watson obviously was that guy when he was a starter. I mean, Mac Jones.
Statue. But he's been scrambling well, actually.
But then I saw the guy pull a
3 weeks?
spin move and like hit him with the Rizzler or whatever. So
I don't know what that was, by the way.
Oh, that's the Rizzler. How do I know that? You don't know what that is.
That was not necessarily.
Wasn't this
He
whatever?
went down.
Well, I don't. Hey, talking to the wrong guy when it comes to the Costco guys. But nevertheless,
he has been scrambling well.
But still not maybe necessarily the biggest mobile quarterback. But once again, how much demand right now from what you've seen from Mac Jones is going on in the NFL saying, hey, we got to sign this guy to maybe a 3-year deal and bring him in as a starting quarterback?
None.
Probably not that much, right? Like, do you see Mac Jones getting a starting spot next year?
No.
Okay, so then it doesn't really make the list. I mean, Tua
He's one of the least mobile guys.
Yeah.
So
Tua can maybe fit that list a little bit?
Like, even Aaron Rodgers does it from time to time.
Well, Aaron Rodgers
often.
ran for 40 against the Jaguars.
Right.
So welcome back.
An outlier there, but
Russell Wilson, still, but here's my point. There's still a threat though. You still have to respect it. Even Aaron Rodgers,
they're not going to be pulling RPOs, but if you don't contain them, they're gonna hurt you.
Yeah. Even gray-haired, salt and pepper main Aaron Rodgers is still running around the Jaguars. Who else we got here? What about Penix Jr.? Penix Jr. is a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Pylon Penix.
Yeah, Pylon Penix.
Remember back at Indiana?
I do. Jared Goff.
He might be.
I
don't know. I feel like he is
statuesque. But you know what, Jared Goff, and once again, I mean, this is kind of going against my point, but he's got offensive line though.
And when you get rid of the ball in 2 seconds every time, he is the next. Don't take this out of context.
He's calling it right now.
He is the Brady of this era.
Jared Goff.
Yes. The play style. Precise, accurate, gets rid of the football.
Sure.
You can't get to him.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't have to
frustrating.
scramble, and you're not going to hit him late.
Yeah.
He is that. When I watch golf, I'm like, this is the way that Brady ran offense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're wrong with that. And once again, maybe more of a statue kind of guy, but when you have a great offensive line and like you said, get the ball out early, it doesn't really matter. Like, listen, I don't think Jared Goff's going to fall off anytime soon, as long as half the team can stay healthy.
Right.
As long as Amon-Ra St. Brown can run, as long as you still have Gibbs, so that's good. And Sam Laporta's doing his thing now again.
Right.
All right, so we said Matthew Stafford. Jordan Love.
Yeah, he can do it.
He can do it.
He doesn't do it a lot, but he can do it.
Sam Darnold, very deceiving, but he can do it.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts obviously can do it. Brock Purdy can do it.
Yep.
Geno Smith can.
Yeah.
Can, but once again, it's the threat of him.
It's in there.
Baker Mayfield's got it. Jaden Daniels has it. Yeah, so when we say that the statue quarterback is a dying breed, it's a fading star, it's a dinosaur, well, we just gave examples. And Drake May can run, by the way, too.
Yes.
So, I mean, at the end, and I'm trying to think of like the guys coming out in the draft and everything. Is there like any statues in college, Hamby, or they're all kind of? I mean, DJU, but we're not worried about you going, in the first 3 or 4 rounds.
The comments on all of the tweets that he had officially declared for the NFL draft.
What did you expect? I mean, do you listen? I don't know if it's his agent. I don't know if somebody advising him. I get you're excited to go to the draft and declare, and it's supposed to be this big thing. Maybe have a little self-awareness, though, where if you declare and you're DJU and the season didn't quite go the way it was expected to go, maybe don't put it out there like that.
Yeah.
But that's just me, though, man. Who knows? Maybe he comes out and he balls. If he even gets it, probably won't even get a combine invite.
No, he'll get a combine invite.
Only so many to go around, Hamby.
I think he will.
Only so many to go around.
So real quick,
yeah.
Look at the guys coming out. Shedeur, obviously, yep.
Mobile.
DG can do it.
Yeah, mobile.
Milrow, most dangerous runner of the football with the ball in his hands in college football.
Could be like the next Jane Daniels, maybe.
Cam Ward, obviously.
Mobile.
Beck, he can do it. He's done it. He's not the same level as Shedeur.
Hamby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is he even gonna come out?
Yeah, he will.
You think Carson Beck's coming out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He will.
Okay, let's table this real quick, and then what time? We'll take a break here in a little bit. Really? So you think it's not even close? He's coming out, Carson Beck.
Yes.
Why?
Because I still think he is the 5th best prospect coming out.
Yeah, but let's have the conversation though. I think
he's lost money.
Yeah,
not going to argue that.
No, for sure. But I think he may have also lost the opportunity to say, "Hey, this is going to be a starter for us." There's a tier level of quarterback like a Dylan Gabriel, like Shadir Sanders, where it's like we're going to draft him and he's going to come in and make the difference. Like he's going to be our guy. Now they may not start day one. They may ease him into it,
but the whole plan.
But eventually, this will be our franchise quarterback. I don't get franchise quarterback vibes after what I saw from Carson Beck this season. So my question is, why wouldn't you go back? Obviously, you're still going to be reloaded with talent, and maybe improve a little bit, and then become maybe like a top 3 quarterback.
Yeah. Look, I'm even agreeing with you there.
Sure.
That he's not going to be drafted as the guy wherever he goes.
Yeah.
However, he almost came out last year. After taking us to the SEC championship as his first year starting. A lot of people thought he was going to.
And that's why his hype was so high this year when the season started. Yeah.
So to do it 2 years in a row, I don't think it's going to happen. And I just don't think you passed up probably 2nd round money last year. I think if you
maybe, teams could have been a first. Who knows?
Could have been.
Yeah.
Right. At the end of the day, I think like a combine is something that he's gonna be incredible at.
Sure.
We know that there are guys who teams will take based off of build, based off of. It's not like
rarely
he doesn't have tape.
No, but that's the thing though. Richardson was the enigma. Richardson was the outlier because it was like, well, look at how freakishly
Zach Wilson.
This guy. No, I'm sorry, not Wilson. Richardson. Sorry,
but both. I'm saying both. I'm saying the height. They showed,
Yeah, but Richardson, like, we didn't really see a lot of film. It was just more of
He's
like,
the
this
poster
guy has
child.
all the physical attributes to
Yes.
maybe be special.
Right.
And, like, you see what Josh Allen does. You see what Lamar Jackson does. It's like, all right, well, if you can get Anthony Richardson to do some of that, you got one. Carson Beck hasn't really, like, yeah, he may have a great combine, Hamby, but he's not going to, like, blow the doors off of with physique or, like, going to blow the doors off of, like, a 40-yard dash. So then it's like, all right, well, what do teams want with Carson Beck where it's like, this is our guy. We got to have him. Like, I get the experience, maybe one thing, but and I agree with Ryan Williams, sir. You probably make the same amount of money because you're not going first round in NIL.
I disagree. I just think, well, figures wise, he wouldn't make more than $1 or $2 million NIL, and a second round type contract in the draft is going to be like 4 years for $10 million, 4 years for $12 million, something like that, depending on obviously where he goes within the round. I just think he's going to take that. I think he is of all of the quarterbacks, he's going to ace all of the interviews more than any other guy. All of the
just from the smarts, you mean, and
yes,
stuff.
Up here, he is the most cerebral of anybody.
Now
in the class.
you know he doesn't watch film.
Yes, he does watch film.
He doesn't watch film, Hamby.
He watches film.
What was the comment then that he
doesn't
said?
watch film, or he doesn't watch football non-film.
Oh,
That's what he was saying. Yeah.
okay.
It was. I thought it was.
Not a fan of the game.
He's not a big fan of watch. His point was he can't watch football from a fan perspective and not treat it like film. So even if he is watching hypothetically just casually, right, as in not preparing, he's still going to analyze. He can't do it in any other way.
Sure.
He's the most cerebral. He understands coverages better than anybody. Obviously, he didn't do a phenomenal job of picking through them at times this year.
Hamby, that bias is starting to show just a little bit. I'm just saying, but okay, go ahead, keep going.
You did see, even this year, you saw flashes. You saw the second half of a team against Alabama. You saw the second of the full game against Texas, or the first half against Texas, where he didn't make any mistakes, but he played well enough to be a second round quarterback taken, and he's not going to pass that up.
Man, I guess we'll see. Because if I'm him, like, what? I get it. Like, yeah,
think Ewers would do it?
Do I think Ewers would do it?
I think Ewers is a very similar boat as Beck.
No, I disagree because Ewers has Arch Manning on his back. Like, who's to say Arch Manning doesn't come in during training camp and be like, hey, oh, by the way, Ewers, you're a pretty good quarterback, but Arch Manning, his last name's Manning, ride the bench, please.
Well, I get it.
Do you think Carson Beck's not threatened at all? Anybody coming up from behind? Hey, Hammy, and I forgot the guy's name. What is it? Shooter? What's the...
Gunnar Stockton.
Whatever. Gunnar Stockton. Carson Beck is not worried about Gunnar Stockton. Quinn Ewers probably has trouble getting his 8 hours of sleep at night because Arch Manning's on his back.
I think Texas will tell him, if he even wanted to, that, hey, this is Arch Manning's job. If you want to play in college, you got to go play elsewhere.
No, for sure.
And I don't think Georgia would necessarily say that to Beck, so I'm with you that he's not losing
But here's
sleep.
the thing, Hamby. If Beck's as good as you say he is, he's not worried about anybody, especially Shooter, coming up from behind him. Scooter, whatever. Gunner. I don't. But no, I don't think he's worried about it. So I get, if you want that prestige and say, I'm an NFL player, Carson Beck, more power to you. You know, put Jacksonville on the map. Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
But if you want to increase your stock and go from a guy, well, okay, will he be a backup in the league, to maybe solidify yourself as saying, hey, when the teams draft me, they're drafted a franchise quarterback, then go out next year, go back to Georgia.
Look,
do your thing.
I could see a team like the Rams taking him in the second round and saying, Stafford's got 2 more, and then here are the keys. You will be our franchise quarterback, but you are not the guy, and we're not trying to make you the guy. We know that there's more development and more time that you need than, say, guys like the first-round guys, Shador, Cam Ward, maybe even Milroe or DG, whichever one you want to plug and play. But I could definitely see a team like the Rams or even like the Steelers taking him with their second pick and saying, hey, we're going to sit you longer than the first-round guys, but eventually you will be our franchise QB.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how you can... And once again, like, I get, because it's Georgia, so we all know about it. But, like, if you look at the stats, and I get stats don't tell the whole story, but 28 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if those... And once again, he did better his junior year, obviously.
Right.
More yards. Actually, less touchdowns, but less interceptions as well. I just don't know if he's shown you enough this season where you can go as a team and say, this is our guy going forward. I just don't know if he's shown enough. And if that's the question, and you had all the hype in the preseason, I would probably come back for another year just to kind of cement myself and say, hey, you know what? 2024, maybe a little bit of an anomaly. I didn't play my best ball, but here's what I got for 25. But hey, if you want to hand the reins off to Shooter McGavin and say, go get him, man, more power to you. But hey, Shooter, or what is it, Gunner?
Yes.
BB Gun? Well, okay. Don't throw the ball to Texas anymore, please. That was, Hamby, be honest, that was not a good performance.
Yeah.
Hamby, they had to bring Carson.
It was a good performance.
They had to bring Carson Beck off the bench with his arm dangling by the socket to hand the ball because they didn't trust Scooter.
It wasn't because they didn't trust Scooter. It was because his helmet came off. He had to come off for a play.
Can't have a name Scooter and then trust him. All right, man. Well, let's go ahead and go to break. When we come back, I guess. Oh, Max Crosby
out.
That's big. I'm sure Anton Harrison, Walker Little. Whew. Is there anybody that personifies the Raiders more than Max Crosby? Just the way that he looks. I mean, my word. That guy's a Raider through and through. And by the way, Hamby, has any quarterback ever had like sleeve and leg tattoos and it panned out well for them like Carson Beck?
That's a great question.
Let's talk about that more next here on the Brent and Austen Show.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Building off a summer of terrific action at Southern Oaks Stadium, the Jacksonville Armada are looking forward to the future and the return of pro soccer in Northeast Florida. Season ticket reservations for MLS Next Pro are underway, and for just $100, you can lock in some great benefits when it comes to supporting the boys in blue. Those who make a reservation will have first selection options in the new Armada Stadium out east, near Jacksonville's downtown sporting complex, as well as access to supporter VIP events like stadium tours, open training sessions, and future meet and greets with players and coaches. You can make your season ticket reservations at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket. And while you're there, read the very latest on the Armada men's and women's teams in action this summer. Show your commitment to the fleet with an MLS Next Pro season ticket reservation at jacksonvillearmada.com/ticket.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, save 10% off a new Rinnai tankless water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Here on Spring Sports Media Day on Action Sports Jack.
It's an opportunity, an education beyond the classroom and the sports arena. Life skills, testing skills, social skills. It's called High School 912, a program focused on maximizing the growth of students in academics, sports, and life. And here's your chance to get involved. If you're a local business, or if you just want to make a donation to help support programs like ACT and SAT boot camps, career days, Leadership Academy, Financial Literacy Academy, and so much more.
Another Nice High School Panther, Jack Cole.
High School 912 supports and hosts high school sporting events and several media days throughout the year. For more information on how you can get involved, visit jackshighschool912.com.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years, and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Yeah! Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Man, Hamby, it's been a rough year. But having this guy, what is on the Jet shirts? But this guy right here, what is on the Jet shirt? What is that?
I see the word justice and I see the word opportunity. It's probably one of those.
Can we pause this video quick? Yeah. I mean, and Brian Thomas Jr., we'll get right back to you. Huh? Why haven't I noticed this till now? What is on the Jets shirts?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
Justice. Equality. Okay. Equality, justice, opportunity, I think. I can't make out the third one. Rockaware. Okay, got it.
There's your Zoom. Equality, justice.
Opportunity is the bottom one. What's the third one?
Yeah. That's Wes Welker, by the way.
Oh, okay. Was this like, is this a Jets thing? Is this like the NFL like shirts?
I think it's like the NFL, makes shirts.
Sure. Yeah, Okay, cool. Didn't equity.
Thanks, Wes.
Oh, equity?
I didn't see that. I don't think. Who knows?
All right, Hamby. Yeah, who knows, man?
Oh, yeah, the top one says equity.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, I just noticed that right now.
Scooter.
Killer 2 for all NFL teams have to win. Hey, Austin, have you watched an NFL game this year? Because I haven't even seen. Okay, I guess I wasn't noticing those shirts. My bad, everybody. But Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep.
has been the beacon of hope in an otherwise desolate, barren, dark existence that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow,
You cooked.
I cooked right there a little bit, man. I'm an author. What can I say? Mina Kimes, I guess, and I haven't heard any of this yet. I assume she had some nice things to say about Brian Thomas Jr. because if she didn't, then we got to go to war with her. And I think she's a really nice person. She's really cool. We actually had her on the show back in the day and was quoted saying that, "Hey, Austin, you asked me officially the weirdest question I've ever asked before." Do you know what I asked her, Hamby?
No idea.
Well, Mina Kimes was also, she's like a business major, like a really big, like in the business.
Okay.
She was actually like in the business industry. When I say business, I can't get any more specific. It's something to do with business.
Okay.
Important stuff. Okay. So before she got into sports, she was doing that. Now, have you seen the movie not Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison?
Yes, of course.
Okay, at the end when they do all the Jeopardy thing where they ask the questions where it's like business ethics.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So no points.
So I asked her the question that they asked the dude from Billy Madison. And she answered it fine, but I don't know if she really got what I was trying to do. And then she's like, "I'm gonna be honest, that was the weirdest question I've ever heard." I'm like, "Oh, cool, thank you. Welcome to the Brent and Austen show. You must be new here." So I like Mina Kimes here. Let's hear what she has to say about Brian Thomas Jr.
I am so impressed by how complete he looks. My thought coming out of CU, I was like, he's obviously he's big and fast, so he should go in the first round. Nobody had any problems with this. But I kind of just thought, well, it might take a second because, his route tree isn't that complex at LSU, and how much can you really count on him to be like a true number one receiver? And like, he's arguably in what was touted as one of the best receiving classes in recent memory. If you were to redraft receivers, would you take him first overall? Is that crazy? I'd consider it.
I would still be inclined to take Marv, but I do think there's a decision about like BTJ versus Neighbors. BTJ, he would be an easy top 10 pick for sure if you were to redraft today.
That combination of size and speed that Nate alluded to is just so rare. I mean,
so rare.
Now I feel dumb for not seeing the vision, I guess, a little bit more clearly.
I just didn't think he'd be able to be as down to down efficient. I thought he could make an impact.
Right?
Yeah.
And so reliable.
He gets it done. And that's what's interesting about him is that you don't see a lot of 6'3" guys be able to bend and move that way. Now, if he just continues the path, even right now at this baseline, this is very interesting. Okay, we got a deep threat that can do a little bit more. But now if we can just add layers, that's exceptional.
Flowers are on the way, Mina.
Flowers on the way. Now, I mean, like, yes, dependables for sure. But, I mean, let's be fair here. Has a couple drops. Just a couple. I'm not saying he's got a lot of drops, but he's got a couple.
Yeah.
And I know this because he's my fantasy team. So, a couple times I got a little stressed because the games were close and I needed, 6 points. And he might have, a few drops. But nevertheless, Hamby, are you taking Brian Thomas Jr. in a redraft as your top wide receiver over Maserati Marv?
I'm still taking him at 2.
The second one.
Look,
see, this is where I kind of
the Neighbors thing. If Brian Thomas Jr. was on the New York Jets or the Dallas Cowboys, this would not be a conversation. There's still, and you could see it from those two guys as soon as she said it. Would you still, it's still there that he doesn't get the love of Neighbors. He doesn't even get the love that Odunze does. Yeah. By the way, I'm definitely taking him over Odunze, and I get that Odunze is still a good football player. I think he's still going to be good and improve. A lot of that could be on Caleb Williams and just their offense in general, right? But it is. I don't think it's even arguable. Brian Thomas Jr. would have so much more love if, first of all, this football team wasn't a 3-1 football team. If we were in the mix, he'd have a lot more love.
Yeah.
And if he was in a big market, he'd have a lot more love.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think if Brian Thomas Jr. was with the Bears, though, like, I don't know how much love he'd be getting because I'm not sure how much he'd be used.
Right.
Because you still have Keenan Allen, you still have DJ Moore. Like, I don't know. If you bring a Dunze here and he's healthy, what would it look like? Like, would it be Brian Thomas Jr. comparable? Or is Brian Thomas Jr. like miles ahead of a Dunze? I think it might be too early to tell, but it's interesting because I agree with you. Like, I would probably still take Maserati Marv, but because once again, it's like, what are they at? If you've watched a lot of Cardinals games, it's like, all right, yeah, sometimes he's featured, sometimes it's Trey McBride, sometimes they just run the football, like sometimes it's James Conner. Like, you're seeing now Brian Thomas Jr. being featured. Like, and that was kind of the story with Neighbors all year. Right? Like, either they feature Neighbors, they give him 12 targets a game with Daniel Jones throwing the ball, so best of luck to you. May God have mercy on your soul. Or they don't throw him the ball for whatever reason, and he complains, and, oh, by the way, next week, then here's 20 targets. Malik Neighbors, sorry for what we didn't notice you the last game. I looked at Field Yates, Mel Kiper did a redraft. Oh, I'm sorry, Todd McShay as well. Did a redraft from the 2024 NFL draft, and this took part about a month ago. And I'm very surprised to tell you that Brian Thomas Jr., I guess this is a month ago. I mean, he may have had a breakout game last game here against the Jets, but this is a month ago. Brian Thomas Jr. is on nobody's top 10. Do you want to hear the names here?
I guess.
All right. So Field Yates, Daniels at number 1, Jane Daniels.
Yep.
Caleb Williams at number 2.
Sure.
Drake May at number 3. Okay. So obviously quarterback heavy, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors number 4.
Okay.
Joel Alt number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Harrison Jr. number 6.
Yep.
J.C. Latham number 7.
Yep.
Jared Verse number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Talicia
Fuaga.
number 9, and then number 10 is JJ McCarthy according to Field Yates. McShay goes Williams, Daniels, May, Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Alt, Neighbors, J.C. Latham, Michael Penix Jr., Odunze, then McCarthy.
Okay.
And then Mel Kiper. You want to finish it up with Mel Kiper? Or you want to say
I don't care about Mel Kiper. Here, let me in the argument right now. Okay. How many targets does Malik Neighbors have? He has 140 targets this year. Brian Thomas Jr. has 99. Brian Thomas Jr. has double the touchdowns and more yards.
But I think it's all about situation because, listen.
41 more targets.
Yeah, Hammy, look at this. McCarthy made the list twice. Bo Nix only made the list once, and that was with Mel Kiper. Bo Nix might be the best quarterback right now of this draft class. It's debatable between him and Daniels.
Yeah.
So, like, what you have to look at is, okay, situations are different on each team. If you put Odunze in a better situation, you know, if you put BTJ on a worse situation, what does it look like? And I get it; it's all hypothetical, but that's what these rankings mean here from these guys doing the redraft. Nevertheless, I mean, I'm just excited because Brian Thomas Jr. is getting mentioned in a national media sense for a good reason.
Right.
We have Jacksonville Jaguars getting mentioned, not because of contracts, not because of bad play, because of good play. Yep. Not because of press conferences, because of actually good play. That's refreshing. I'll have more of that, please.
Yep. 100%. 100%. We got to take it all the love we can get. Again, 41 more targets for Malik Neighbors. And Brian Thomas Jr. has, I think, 960 yards. Neighbors has 900. BTJ, 8 tuds.
Yeah.
Neighbors, 4.
I don't want this to get taken the wrong way. And if this gets clipped, I hope like there is some context to this clip happening. Was Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk the best thing to happen to Brian Thomas Jr.?
Look, I understand. I get where you're coming from. At the same time, I think more and more as the season progressed, his target share increasing would be natural. And
you would hope.
And I think it would be. And I know that there was a full half of football. Which game was that? 3 weeks ago where he was not involved, and that was the game where we threw it to him 5 straight times.
Yeah.
Right? These guys, look, Doug and Press know, and I get that everybody's so frustrated with the team and the play calling at times. They know what a weapon he is. They know what a matchup problem he is. Evan Ingram is just as much of a matchup problem in a whole different other way. He is still, right? Brian Thomas Jr. naturally would have gotten more and more of the target share. Now, look, would he have had 64 receptions if Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk were healthy this whole time? No. But he still would have had his share.
Yeah, I hear you. But if you go back, and I can't remember when Ingram actually got hurt. How long has Ingram been out for? Ingram's been...
It's 2 weeks, and he missed 4.
Yeah.
And he came back, and he's been out the last 2.
Kirk's obviously been out for a minute
For a while.
Because, like, I look back at BTJ's stat lines here. And, like, if you go back... Let's just go back to the Green Bay game. 3 receptions. 4 targets. Philly, 4 targets. 2 receptions. Minnesota, 3 targets, 2 receptions. And then all of a sudden they decided, hey, let's maybe get him the ball a little more. Then it goes 7 targets, 5 receptions, 10 targets, 4 receptions, 12 targets, 8 receptions. And then the Jets' last game was 14 targets, 10 receptions. But there was like that span where he was seeing maybe 3 or 4 targets a game. Yeah. And that's unacceptable. And I get, well, maybe, you got to feed Ingram a little more. Maybe, like, and I can't remember if Kirk was in for Green Bay or not. I think he might have been. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, like, when you lost all your other targets, Hamby, it appears like it finally dawned on Press Taylor and Doug Peterson to go, oh, hey, this guy is fast. He can run some pretty good routes. He's got decent hands. Let's try to get him the ball with something other than a go route.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, what happens? Like, this is something that we've been kind of clamoring for. Like, hey, get this, just find a way to do it. And we see this with the top tier receivers. Now, Tyreek Hill can be a case because I don't think Tyreek Hill, I saw the stat, hasn't had a reception over, I want to say, 30 yards since week 1, which is insane to me. Think about that stat. Jefferson has one, every single game. Tyreek Hill hasn't had a reception over 30 yards since week 1. I'm pretty sure that's accurate.
Holy cow.
That's insane.
Yep.
That is no rhyme or reason for that. But usually, if you're a bona fide receiver, doesn't matter if they're double teaming you, doesn't matter if they got the all-world corner on you, doesn't matter. They're going to scheme you ways to get open.
Sure.
And it took us what? I don't know. Week 14, week 15 to finally see, you know what? Maybe we should do that for Brian Thomas Jr. because we have no other options. So that's why I say, and once again, you need Evan Ingram out there. You love to see Christian Kirk out there, right? Would only help your offense. But I think those two guys going out really left them no other choice. Like, hey, yeah, we got Parker Washington. Okay, yeah, I mean, we had Gabe Davis. Okay, yeah, let's start scheming Brian Thomas Jr. open. I don't think that Jets game happens if Christian Kirk and if Evan Ingram in the game. I think we're still wondering why Brian Thomas Jr. is not getting the ball more, honestly.
You think that you would like to see him get it even more?
No, I mean, hey, listen, I'll take 14 targets, 10 receptions any day of the week, especially my fantasy team. But my point is that if Ingram was still a thing, if Christian Kirk was still a thing, then I think we're talking about Brian Thomas Jr. just running a deep route. You essentially turn him into Deshaun Jackson, where he's kind of like a one-trick pony. Maybe every once in a while, maybe you throw him a screen here or like a bubble route.
Right.
But besides that, no. Like he wouldn't be a target monster. So once again, yes, this team is better with Evan Ingram. Yes, this team is better than with Christian Kirk. But I think if you want to find some silver lining, it's those two guys going out revealed the fact of, hey, going forward, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be a true number 1. And by the way, going forward, he might be one of the best wide receivers in the league. But we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, man. All right. But yeah, going back to the list too, by the way, and I'll say Mel Kiper's part as well. He had Daniels, Williams, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr., Joel Alt, Malik Neighbors, J.C. Latham, Michael Penix Jr., Roma Dunze, and Bo Nix.
So 5 quarterbacks.
I mean, which makes sense. We're not sold on Drake. I mean, Drake May has shown some stuff, but it's obviously a very coveted position.
Right.
So, you have to help out your teams that need him. Yeah, man. Wow. But Brian Thomas Jr., nowhere to be seen on this list.
He's a top 10 pick. Everybody knows it.
I mean, I'm definitely taking him over Dunze right now. I think there's a debate you could take him over Neighbors, even though Neighbors gives me, I don't know, man. I feel like in the right situation, Neighbors could be a pretty big thing as well.
He will be.
I just think we haven't seen.
Just this year, he's not been, he just hasn't been as good.
But that's what kind of sucks, though, right? Is you had Jamar Chase come in right away. Oh, here's Joe Burrow. Have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there he is, man, and we'll take him. Crazy Jet shirts and everything, but we'll take Brian Thomas Jr. all day. This guy's going to be a Jaguar for hopefully years and years to come. And listen, all I ask for you, organization, just keep feeding him the ball. That's all he needs. Quiet, goes about his business. Just keep giving him his targets, and let's see what happens.
If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder-grade materials. And there's more, and for that, we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game, too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jags Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show. I'm Austen Lane, Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Jason Hamby pushing all the right buttons. Brent Martineau, MIA, in Las Vegas. Hopefully living it up for everybody. Hopefully. He was staying, I know he didn't want to say where he was staying with the team, which I figured it out. Not on the Strip. Got it. Okay, it was one of so many nice hotels not on the Strip. Got it. Where is he staying at the Bellagio, right?
Yeah.
Hey, have you been in Vegas?
No.
Never?
No, I need to. I really want to, but just...
I mean, I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but you did get engaged, yes? That's still on?
Oh, yeah. That's still on.
Still on?
Yeah.
Bachelor party?
Yeah, I think we got to go more local for that, though.
Is that what the friends are saying? Is that what the significant other is saying? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
got it. Mm-hmm.
No, not her. Not her.
What is she doing? She's going to Vegas.
I don't think she's going to Vegas.
She's going to Nashville.
I don't even know if she's going out of town.
Really? Oh, just kind of like a little spa weekend and stuff.
Something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I wouldn't Vegas hard.
I will be playing
Vegas.
poker at some point on that, whenever we do it and where, but I just don't think it'll be in Vegas.
Hamby, listen, dude, it's your bachelor party, so and I don't really know. I met one of your friends at the beach one time. They're walking by, said what's up to him. Cool dude. I don't know how your friends operate. I feel like playing in a poker tournament though, or like a poker thing, isn't the best. Because like you're supposed to be like socializing. It's like male camaraderie time.
Oh no, like we're gonna go one night. Like when we went, I had a buddy of mine and we went for his, but he had a smaller group and it was like 6 of us.
Yeah,
it was in Tampa.
Yeah,
so we all went to the Hard Rock. Like we played together house game for a couple hours.
Okay, so you're off the same table
at the Airbnb. Then we went to Hard Rock. And we sat different places.
Sure,
but it was just for a few hours, and then we came home and kept playing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when we went to Vegas for my bachelor party, like, yeah, we're playing blackjack.
That's where yours was?
Yeah, mine was in Vegas. And yeah, it was wild. But we played blackjack for a bit. And I lost my ass. Like I lost so much money, and like, dude, it got to the point where like I was like actually kind of pissed off because like, yeah, I mean, and you know this. You've been, you've done gambling. Like, when it's like you have the dealer who's like a very sweet lady.
Yeah, you feel bad.
Well, you feel bad, but then like you kind of get pissed because she is so sweet and she's like kind of screwing you over every single time. Like, what's this? Yeah, cool. We got 10 and a king. Sure. Okay, yeah. Hey, I'll stay. Oh, blackjack. Oh man, I'm bullying you tonight, huh? I go, yeah. Guess you are, like.
Yeah, what are you supposed to say?
Yeah, well, you're not like trying to be friendly anymore because you're losing money, like a couple $100s, and you're pissed. So yeah, man, that was one of the nights of my Vegas experience. Was that I lost like so much money in black. Well, I say so much, like to me, so much. It was like a couple $100s, and I left. I pouted, and like an amateur, instead of like just sitting like on the slots and like having like a drink at the slots because it's free drinks when you're gambling.
Yeah,
I go right to the bar. I'm like, here. Take my credit card, take my credit card and just charge me whatever. I don't even care at this point. And just kind of got a little faded at the bar, feeling sorry for myself over some blackjack. But it is what it is, man.
Let me ask you this.
But we made up for it. I told the story when we stuck into a 50 Cent concert and it was front row because we lied to the bouncer and said that I was a professional soccer player and I didn't speak English. And did you hear this story?
No.
So 50 Cent was playing, I forgot what hotel. It might have been the Cosmopolitan. I don't know, whatever, man. He's playing at a hotel. And it was me, and so we had like 10 of us. But like the problem when you have 10 of us for a bachelor party, it's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Like dudes are going to go missing.
Yep.
Okay? Dudes have their own agenda, right? It's not like girls where it's like, oh my God, like Stacey, you got to stay with us. Like even like and listen, I've said this so many times in Nashville and Vegas. You can have a girl that's literally like belligerently probably passed out and dragging her feet, and that group will bring her with.
Oh yeah,
because like you have to. It's like the pride of lions, where it's like you have to stick together. It's like a pack of wolves when you talk about a bachelorette party. With dudes, oh man, doesn't matter. You can see a girl, see ya, Tyler. Oh, what's this? Had a little too much to drink, can't walk. We'll see ya, Paul. Like maybe I'll see it, maybe I won't. Like guys just fall off. Girls don't allow it. Dude, girls, like, you guys are holding hands, Red Rover grip for, like, a straight week in Vegas. Guys, I think I saw my friend Paul maybe 2 days out of the 4 days that we were there. Didn't know where he went. Just the way that it is. But my point is, so it was me and 2 other guys, just, through the night.
Yep.
And we're going to 50 Cent. And, me, dude, yeah, it's a bachelor party. I ain't getting dressed up, though. For what, man? I don't care if it's Vegas or not. I'm be comfortable, man. Mm-hmm. I'm staying true to who I am. And so are my friends. So we had, like, me wearing it was like a white T-shirt. That was about it. And my friends wearing black T-shirts. No writing, just black T-shirts. So we pull up. Well, obviously, Las Vegas, you got to be dressing up a little more, right? You got to be fancy. Well, we weren't fancy. So we didn't pass the dress code. Uh-oh. So they asked us, hey, you guys can't get in. You guys don't fit the dress code. Cool. Sounds good. Go around to the VIP section by the bouncer. And what do we come up with, man? Keep in mind, probably 10 beers deep right now.
Sure.
So not in the most clear state of mind. But you know me, man. I can hatch some plans together every once in a while. I'm like the dude. I'm like Hannibal from the A-Team. And I go, here's what we're going to do. We're going to say that I'm a professional soccer player, because if we say football or something, they're going to know. But when you say soccer, they're big deals over Europe, but they may not know who I am. Perfect. So I say I'm a soccer player. And by the way, I didn't really speak English. I go, I play soccer. And bodyguards. These are my bodyguards. And the bouncer goes, okay, let me see some ID. Show my ID. Didn't think, well, I'm a European soccer player, but my license is from Florida. All good, though. Didn't ask the questions. And then he let us through. And we got VIP. Not going to say who was all there. Not going to say who was sitting. I'm not going to say that James Harden may have been in the front row with some girl. I'm not going to mention who she was. I'm not going to put anybody on blast, right? I'm not going to do that. I'm not built like that, right? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say that James Harden was literally right next to me for a little bit with some girl. I'm not going to say who she was, though. Literally right there. Not going to say it, okay? But maybe you can fantasize about it. Maybe you can visualize it with the beard and everything. But I'm not going to say it. But yeah, we saw 50 Cent front row. Yes, I was dancing on the couch. Yes, I got asked to get off the couch because, once again, little belligerent. All good, though. And then what else happens? Well, a band by the name of Migos, who just had a hit song in Atlanta called Bad and Bougie.
Yes.
Made like one of their first appearances ever.
Wow.
May they rest in peace, by the way, too. One of them passed away. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, got to see the Migos too front row, man. So that was quite the experience.
That's a bachelor trip.
That's a bachelor trip, man. So yeah, that was probably my best Vegas experience.
So going back to you're losing a lot of your a good amount of money, right?
A couple hundred, yes.
Right.
Yes.
It might have been a couple hundred, but
it's the principle, Hamby.
It's a principle. Well, you know who lost pretty much all of his money as well the last couple of days?
Not you.
Put me in the Segway game. Brock Purdy just lost every dollar he's ever made.
It's unreal. It's unreal.
10 cars and trucks.
Rookie contract, Hamby.
For his 49ers O-lineman.
All right. Few questions here.
Yep.
Number one, okay, my first question is, does he have a Toyota endorsement?
I don't know.
I hope so. Because, dude, he's making rookie minimum.
According to this, he's making $900,000 this year, and this says that those 10 cars and trucks cost $650,000.
Yes.
So he spent over 2/3 of his yearly salary.
So this is my point. There has to be some kind of endorsement, or maybe he's got that Austen Lane Bozart built kind of package going on or something. You know what I'm saying?
So are you saying that there might be a little red ribbon gift out there in the parking lot for me?
Take it if you want. Yeah, no, for sure, because I'm getting ready to go back home and I'm going to need the car with a little better gas mileage. I'm just saying, man, 15's rough. Like, listen, it's a mean truck, and yeah, I get a lot of looks driving it. My son, it makes his day dropping up at school every single day. Kids are going, what is that, But man, that 15 miles to the gallon diesel, Hamby, is a little rough. Man, like, listen, I appreciate Brock Purdy for doing it. I'm not going to lie. When he says the entire offensive line, just the starters, right?
It was 10. All 10 of them. That's why it was $650K.
So here, oh man. So here's what I'm doing.
There's 10 of them there.
So here's what I'm doing, Hamby. I'm going through PFF because it's the only way we know how to if an offensive lineman's good or not. Your PFF grade better be over an 80. You better be in the green, and then you can get a Toyota Tundra. If it's not in the green, Merry Christmas, I got you an Apple Watch.
What was the best gift you ever got?
Oh, God, this is a funny story. So, okay, so...
Because this is a thing on every team.
Well, no, it's a thing on every team, but it's different. So, it's not like this, though. So, quarterbacks, yeah, they bother offensive linemen because, the offensive linemen being big nasties and everything, like, they do the dirty work so the quarterback can shine. Now, I haven't won the most games this year, Brock Purdy, so not sure if I'd go with the Toyota Tundra. Once again, maybe an Apple Watch would suffice. But when you play on the defensive side of the ball, and you're like a defensive lineman like me, it's not like we have linebackers or cornerbacks or safeties buying us things. We kind of just exchange gifts as a defensive line. Mm-hmm. So the one time that sticks out to me was we're at Joe Cullen's house, his apartment downtown Jacksonville. And by the way, I'm just gonna come out and say it. It was always weird. Like, I love Joe Cullen to death, but like it was always weird to have a coach that would like yell at you nonstop, make you uneasy, swear at you and everything, and then all of a sudden like he's in a turtleneck and like he's hosting a Christmas dinner. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like everyone's like kind of calm, collected, and we're all just like, sharing each other's company. Like, it's weird to go from "would you get your bleep going, Austen" to "hey, Austen, here we have some chicken catatori or whatever. Enjoy." Yeah, like, dude,
make yourself at home.
Dude, exactly. It was so weird.
Just take your feet off when you enter.
Yeah, exactly. And you know me, man. I can adapt now. Like, I can adapt to any situation. You put me at the Catalina wine mixer, you put me at the Limp Bizkit concert. I'm gonna adapt just the same. But in that environment, dude, it was hard for me to adapt. But nevertheless, so we had it was called like the white elephant gift, where we all had to spend, I want to say it was $250. So yeah, $250, and you had to buy a gift, and then obviously you exchange them and everything, and no one knows who they're from. Cool. Well, you know me, man. I was in a generous mood. I was making some pretty good money. I go to Brookstone, and I get the Rolls Royce, I get the Maybach, I get the GSX if you want to do that with Kendrick Lamar. I get that of Christmas gifts. I go to Brookstone and I get like the state-of-the-art like calf and foot massager. Thing was like as big, almost as big as like, I'd say it's like half this table. It was huge. And I got that. Spent like $450 on it. Spent a little above what I was supposed to spend, but you know what? I figured, man, we're in the dog days of the season. We're not really winning much. Guys are banged up.
Right.
Let me go ahead and get this sweet Christmas gift for somebody because someone's gonna appreciate it. Cool. So I have him wrap it there. Probably pay an extra $20 to have him wrap it because it was so big. I'm not gonna wrap it myself. Can you wrap Christmas gifts?
Heck no.
It's an art form, isn't it?
Somebody else will do it.
I can't do it, man. Like, I mean, I can do it. But, like, there's some people out there where it's like the Sistine Chapel, man, where it's just like, that's a work of art that I don't even want to unwrap it. It looks so good. Not me.
I just want that rule. I just want it to be I pay, you wrap.
Yeah. Exactly. So I go to Brookstone. I get the girl to wrap it for me. Fantastic. Get the gift. Okay. So Tyson Alualu ends up getting my gift. Opens it up. Couldn't be happier. Well, this is all, and this is Tyson, who never shows any kind of emotion or any kind of just thing at all, was actually pretty happy. Okay. Smiled. Yeah. I made Tyson Alualu smile.
Win.
Yes. I don't know why I got to go like one of the last ones, but mine was like a small, like little gift bag. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take this one because if it's small, that means, all right, it's probably going to be some bling, something like that, right? So I pick it up, and Jason Babin, former teammate of mine, goes, oh, that one's for me. And I go, because here's what I'm thinking, Hamby. Jason Babin.
He's not on his first contract.
Jason Babin. Right? So I'm thinking, okay, hey, your boy's about to get probably a diamond encrusted necklace or something like that. Eat your heart out, Louis Vuitton. We went to Beards. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I thought we were gonna do. So, opening the gift, it's a pair of waterproof Bluetooth headphones and a Bluetooth speaker. Grand total, $220. Didn't even reach how much it was supposed to spend, and I'm not going to lie, used the headphones once, didn't like them, they sucked, went back to my $500 Beats by Dre's that I spent way too much money for, but that's another story for another day, and the speaker maybe lasted a couple years. Never been so disappointed in my life, Hamby. Never been so disappointed.
Jason Babin career earnings $32 million.
Yeah, the prosecution rests. Okay. Gary Wilkerson, I miss Brent and his constant expletive about the J.
Do you?
Has he? I thought that was my job.
I did too.
I thought that was my job. He's the one? All right. You can limit there. But yeah, man, so that was my Christmas story, Hamby. Hamby, because it's the Christmas season, and don't worry, we'll break down the Raiders Jaguars here around noon because I know people are just chomping at the bit to get my expert analysis of what's going to happen in this Jaguars Raiders game. All of the 10,000 people are probably tuning in to watch it. Go to Christmas movie.
Elf. Just like that.
I am surprised for such an old soul that you go for such like a millennial type of movie. Do you want my honest analysis?
Yeah.
I'm okay without Elf.
Really?
It's fine.
I'm not. There have been years.
It's a little over the top with the, and I love Will Ferrell. Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, say no more. Elf?
Listen, there have been years where the entire Christmas season passed and I did not watch a single Christmas movie.
Yes.
So I'm not the guy.
Okay.
But if
you're going to be the guy,
like I probably I'm always down for Grinch, rocking with the old one. So there's a little bit, I guess, of the.
When you say the old one, do you mean the Jim Carrey one? Or are we doing like the old school cartoon one?
I like both.
Okay.
I like both. Like I haven't seen probably half. Like I've never seen Christmas Vacation.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and shut the show down right now. Let's go watch
party.
that. We're gonna have a watch party, and then we'll see you guys on Monday to talk about the Raiders Jaguars game because Hamby, gonna need you to see Uncle Eddie in Christmas Vacation, please.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
That one's probably my top one. We used to watch every single year. My mom, my stepdad watched Christmas Vacation. That was the mark to know that the holidays were starting up. So many quotes. I'm going to say that, and then kind of from my childhood nostalgia, and my son loves this movie too as well, and I almost got a tattoo of Lock, Shock, and Barrel, but I didn't. Thank God I didn't, because I'm not sure how that would have looked now, 10 years after the fact. Nightmare Before Christmas.
I haven't seen it. I don't think.
Okay, but here's the...
Okay. Maybe I have. Actually, maybe
Hey, man! Either you seen it or you haven't.
It's a 1993 film.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's a cartoon. It's about Christmas and Halloween.
I've seen it.
It's pretty memorable.
I've seen it.
Did you obviously didn't like it. You don't really remember it.
I saw it in pre-K.
Oh, okay. Don't really remember much about pre-K, huh?
With Eli the Eliminator.
What is that?
That was the guy that I watched it with.
Okay. His name was Eli the Eliminator?
Yep.
Where were you going to school at, man? Unbelievable.
Parkwood. East Arlington, baby.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, man. So Nightmare Before Christmas. Honey's only 20. Hamby's only 20. Yeah. I'm not going to cut Hamby any slack here. And this is probably Hamby typing from Killer Tofu. It's probably his burner.
No, I already have another burner. It's not.
Okay.
Just kidding. It's not.
Hamby, like I understand that sometimes you're young, sometimes you're an old soul. I still don't really know how to like put you in a category. But you're doing yourself a disservice by not watching Christmas Vacation.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Okay, and you're doing yourself a disservice by, I guess, not remembering A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Hit me with it, please, and then let's talk about some sports.
How do I watch Christmas Vacation in 2024?
Hey, man. I mean, I don't know. I think stream's a thing, right? Like streaming? Netflix? I don't know. It's on. Turn on TBS. It's been on like 24 straight hours.
Why can't I just go to Blockbuster?
Oh my gosh. So is this, do you want me to play along with this bit? Is this what we're doing now?
No, but I'm actually
What's
being
the
for real.
deal with Blockbuster?
No, but I'm actually being for real. If Blockbuster still existed, I would go get it today on my way home.
Sure.
And I would watch it.
Just turn on the TV and it'll be there. Christmas. Hamby. Okay. Last question and then we'll go on to some sports here. Christmas Story. Don't Google A Christmas Story. Either you've seen it or you haven't. I can hear you Googling it.
Parts.
Do you see what I'm dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen?
I'm so glad I'm in this room right now.
Do you see what I'm dealing with here? Do you see how we're trying to do this Action Sports Jax 24/7 network and this stream? And we're trying
I told you I haven't seen most of them.
We're trying to bring you sports coverage, but we understand that pop culture is also a thing, so we want to blend them every once in a while. And maybe when our main guy, Brent, is not here, and we have to have some new topics because the Jaguars are playing the Raiders, and let's be honest, not much to break down about that game. Do you see my problem when I try to blend the pop culture of what's some big topics? Oh, I don't know, Austin. It's Christmas time. Let's get some Christmas movies. And the guy who I'm supposed to be sharing the studio with, because Brent's gone, and I'm sure Brent hasn't probably seen the movie either, has never seen A Christmas Story. And no, Killer Tofu, I don't want to hear he's young, Austen. It should be a prerequisite as an American to go, hey, you know what? You celebrate Christmas? Okay, well, if you celebrate Hanukkah, then okay, maybe go A Hanukkah Story. You celebrate Kwanzaa, A Kwanzaa Story. But if you celebrate Christmas, gonna need you to watch The Christmas Story. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it. Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yes.
Then watch the movie.
Okay.
Red Ryder BB gun. It's like apple pie, man. It's like baseball. It's Americana.
Okay. All right. I don't have a reason why I haven't
You're gonna give me a heart attack. And by the way, yeah, Matthew, Hamby, you never seen It's a Wonderful Life, right?
I don't think so.
Gonna be honest with you, with It's a Wonderful Life, Matthew, I get it's a Christmas staple. I'm all set.
Oh.
Too depressing. Like, I need like Uncle Eddie, or I need like the boy getting the crap kicked out of him in The Christmas Story. I need some funny parts. You know, like when the kids rocking like the snow suit and he's like a giant ticket ready to pop. That's funny. Or when he's eating like the trough with the mashed potatoes. That's funny. A Wonderful Life, man. That stuff hits too close to home to me. That's like, it's too depressing. Like, it ends great, but it's like, man, this guy's going through it. There's not a lot of funny parts. He's not that, doesn't have a lot of money. How's he gonna provide his family with a Christmas? And then you start wondering about your own life of like, you're on the Action Sports Jax network, work with the producers never seen The Christmas Story, and you're wondering like, could you be doing better with your life? But you're also in the UFC, so like you're feeling pretty good about that, but you don't fight every single day, so then you get bored because you don't fight all the time. Yeah. Oh, long story short, A Wonderful Life is just not for me. But I understand the appeal. It's just, I need comedy. I need like, I need to turn my brain off of like real world situations. And A Wonderful Life, Hamby, it's got some adult situations, let's just say. Yeah, man. Okay. Well, that's been the Jason Hamby Austen Lane Christmas extravaganza. We'll see you guys next year again. There's the Death Star, Allegiant Stadium.
It is.
Probably gonna be. Hey, you see all the cars there? That's probably gonna be the actual game time. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It'll be full, I'm sure. Trayvon Walker, Brian Thomas Jr. What do you think, Hamby? Are we talking about a dub on Sunday? Should we talk about that next year on the show?
You'll find it after the break.
Let's find out after the break here on the Brent and Austen Show.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models, or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade. If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder-grade materials. And there's more, and for that, we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game, too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Beautiful day here in the Riverside, in the Bold City, in Jacksonville, Florida. Breathing that fresh St. John's River breeze, that Atlantic Ocean breeze. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, 7 inches of snow. That sucks. Actually, I'm looking forward to it. We're heading out on Tuesday, Christmas Eve. Kind of going to risk it for the biscuit a little bit. Hopefully there's no delays or anything, but flying home, me and little man flying home to see my mom. I'll be getting some snowboarding and everything, and obviously with snowboarding, you need some snow. So by the sounds of it, they're getting some of that. Well, they got some of that last night, and they might be getting some of that again this weekend. Hamby, you big snow guy? Probably not.
Only seen it once.
Only seen it once. Mm-hmm. Ever been in it, or just like you saw it like on the side of the road?
I'd say I've been in it. I mean, it was in North Carolina, so it wasn't like a ton of snow, but it was snow. It was actual snow.
Okay. Did you play in it?
Yeah.
You know, I was like, okay, good. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Did you make a snowman and stuff? Snowball
No
fights?
snowman, but some snowballs were definitely tossed.
Yeah.
Didn't realize they were as hard as they.
Dude. Oh, yeah, you throw some ice in there. So this is why I'm convinced, well, one of the reasons why, that I became an MMA fighter, and that one would say that in terms of like, you know, my personality, like, yeah, I'm a chill guy, you know, the chill guy meme. I'm definitely a chill guy if I'm outside the field or the cage. But when you talk about like on the field or in the cage, yeah, something clicks. Now, Austen, where does that come from? Is it the upbringing? Did you have a rough childhood? I mean, very humble means, didn't have a lot growing up, but family loved me. So like, no, that's not what it is. I'm convinced it's from living in the cold and living in the snow. And here's why. Couple reasons. Number one, we had this game called King of the Hill, where when we got like the first snow of the year, like the first big snow, the snow plows would come, you know, snowplow town, didn't have any stoplights, so the snow all goes in one place. And it ends like kind of by like our school. We went to like grade school and everything. So you had just like one giant mound of snow, and we would call the game King of the Hill. the game was simple. Everybody climbs up to the top of said mountain, and the last one standing at the top was the winner. So you could clothesline, you could power bomb, you could push, you could pull, but you're taking everybody out. And believe me when I say, like, I feel like my upper body strength, my stability, my athleticism all comes from that game. Because when I say that we play that game, Hamby, like on occasion, I mean we played it 4 hours a pop daily. Like that's what we do. Like that's what we did. We didn't have phones and we didn't have iPads and I didn't really have a lot of television channels. So it's like, guess what? Get your ass outside, go climb up this hill and push and tackle everybody off it. And that's how we grew up, man. And I'm convinced like that right there kind of helped mold me to like the athlete that you see today. The other thing that still traumatizes me, Hamby, do you know like what like a culvert is or something? You know like the drainage things that you would see like, okay, yeah, this is definitely more of a Wisconsin. I think there's a Florida thing. But like picture like you have a hill, right? And then in the hill, there's like this metal tube that like goes from one side of the hill to the other. And it's for like drainage and stuff, right? So like when it snows, like the snow will like drain through, or like if it rains, the rain will go through there, right? You kind of visualize that?
Yeah.
Okay, a hill with a big pipe. Yeah. Okay. So the pipe, I would say, would be like to the point where a kid could crawl through it, but like me now couldn't crawl through it. But at the time when I'm in third grade, could definitely crawl through it. And we had the game where, hey, guess what? When we would crawl through the culvert, our friends thought it'd be funny to plug both ends of the culvert with snow so we couldn't get out. And that happened to me one time, fourth grade at recess, where I was like, and keep in mind, this is like probably 100 yards, probably like 50 yards long. And the kids would put the snow in and trap me inside. Now, not sure if you're claustrophobic or not, doesn't matter. It was a scary experience and one that I still refuse to crawl through a cupboard today. All right. Well, Hamby left me, and now it's just me talking because I guess he had to go do something as well. So now it's just Austen Lane holding down the fort by myself, and that's all good. But we're going to talk about the Jaguars Raiders game a little bit, and we'll let Hamby kind of share his thoughts as well. Looking at the line right now, I think we are still at, well, it's been kind of going back and forth. I think we're at -1 now for the Raiders. Essentially a pick'em game. You know, they always give the home team 3 points, so the Jaguars might have a little bit of the advantage, but the win probability right now, according to ESPN, 47% Jaguars, 52% Raiders, so a pick'em game. We'll call it a coin flip. I think the fact that Aiden O'Connell is coming back does scare me a little bit because, yeah, I know he's not a household name, but he is a serviceable quarterback. And Mac Jones has shown a little bit now where he can kind of come in and, you know, the interceptions are still a thing and he's got to clean up the turnovers, but now I feel like he's kind of found something a little bit, maybe found a little bit of that swag, whether it was the spin move, whether it was somebody knocking the ball out of his hands and he goes after him in the New York Jets game, but he seems to kind of have come into his own a little more. Now, it's not to the point where he's a starting, you know, caliber quarterback yet, but he could be a guy that can win you a game against maybe an inferior team like the Raiders. So, you know, I mean, it's definitely a close matchup. I think the fact that Max Crosby's out is going to help this Jaguars offensive line out a lot. And when you talk about like what the Raiders want to do, yeah, they want to run the football, but I feel like they're at their 6th or 7th backup running back now. And really the only guys that they have in the receiving game are Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. Now, I'm not going to lie. If I'm a fantasy guy or if I'm like a DFS type of person, Brock Bowers scares me. You can make an argument and say, could Jacoby Myers, you know, because I want to say he's the only player right now in the NFL that has over, I want to say 100 targets and 0 drops. I think I read that someplace. I don't think he has a drop all season, which is pretty wild. but he's kind of been like their dependable go-to guy in the receiving game. And then Brock Bowers, obviously more of a tight end, but they flex him out as well. Like he does a little bit of everything. So like those two guys scare me, more specifically Brock Bowers, because I can say, okay, Tyson Campbell, go take Jacoby Myers, and hopefully you can shut him down for the most part.
And for whatever reason, the Jags have always struggled with tight ends, it seems like.
Well, and this is the thing. With Brock Bowers, it's like, man, I don't know who you put on him. I don't know what the solution's going to be with that. And this is another example of the Raiders, kind of like Brian Thomas Jr. finally now getting used in the Jaguars. They'll scheme him open.
Yeah.
They'll put him as a tight end. They'll flex him out wide. Like they'll have trips and he's like the lone guy on the other side. Like they have no problem flexing this dude out and putting him wherever he needs to be to get him the ball. Because when the ball's in his hands, man, crazy things happen. So let me ask you this real quick, Hamby, and then we'll get into the game a little more.
Yeah.
Who's been more impressive this season? Brock Bowers or Brian Thomas Jr.?
That's a great question. I think there's
I'm going to bring up the stats real quick.
outside of quarterbacks, they are the two best offensive rookies in the National Football League.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see Brock Bowers' stats. I don't know how many touchdowns he's scored.
All right, so we got Brian Thomas Jr. here. He has 64 receptions, 956 yards receiving, and 8 touchdowns.
Let me try to guess Brock's stats.
Please.
Don't.
Yeah. This is your former Georgia Bulldog, Hamby. He's played in 14 games, by the way.
So he's played in every game.
Yep.
63 catches.
60 receptions, okay.
For 780 yards and 5 tuds.
Okay. So would it blow your mind if I told you that out of 2 of the categories that you just said, Brock Bowers actually has better numbers than Brian Thomas Jr.?
Okay, well then.
So Brock Bowers has 90 receptions.
90? So he's probably over 1,000 yards.
He's got 968 yards receiving right now.
So he's pretty much the same.
He's probably going to get there in this game.
Oh, yeah.
And then he has 4 touchdowns.
Okay, yeah. I was going to go low on the touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I definitely missed the volume of how many catches.
Yeah.
So he's their offense through the passing game.
But the question still remains, Hamby. Who's been more impressive?
Yeah. Golly.
I mean, I think what it looks, I don't know, man, because I haven't watched like every single Raiders game, right?
Yeah.
Like
so
we're a little biased because we've seen what the Brian Thomas Jr. trend looks like.
Yeah.
And this looks special. But man, and once again, I haven't watched a lot of Brock Bowers.
He's real.
But Brian Thomas Jr.'s got 64 receptions. Brock Bowers got 90.
Right.
And you're still a tight end. Like, and you remember funny? Like how we praise Sam Laporta and everything?
Yeah.
This rookie year? I mean, I get he doesn't have the touchdowns, but man, these numbers. What do you got?
Neighbors and Bowers pretty much have the exact same stats.
There you go.
So if we said BTJ is more impressive than Neighbors, I know they don't play the exact same position.
Yeah.
But stats alone,
yeah,
we got to say BTJ.
Yeah.
They literally have they both have 90 catches. Neighbors has 4 tuds, Bowers has 5, and they both have about 900 something yards.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I think it's comparable. I think obviously Brock Bowers is on the worst team with the worst quarterbacks.
Sure.
And I think it's still pretty amazing what he's done. Especially because like we've seen the run on first round wide receivers come in right away and make a giant difference.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I don't need to go over the list. Everyone should. I mean, you have an idea. I think when we talk about tight ends, it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you can get your Travis Kelce's, but look, what about was Trey McBride taken the first round? Kincaid?
I don't think so. Kincaid was high, but not that high.
Okay, maybe I'm just like. Okay, I think like Noah Fant. Noah Fant was taken the first round. Hawkinson at the time was taken the first round, and like he's a great tight end now, but like he wasn't.
Dalton Kincaid was 25th overall. Exactly.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like you take the tight ends in the first round, and they don't necessarily always, turn out to be the next Travis Kelce.
Right.
Right. Like, for instance, if you take a running back in the first round, that guy better be a Pro Bowler. He better be like Saquon. He better be like Bijan Robinson. He better be like Travis Etienne sometimes. But like, there's an expectation that goes around with that first round pick. Like Ashton Genty
I was just about to ask you.
will be a first rounder.
All right, let me ask you this.
Yes, he's special, and I don't want to hear anything different from you or Brent.
You're not going to.
Okay, good.
What draft pick number would the Jags have to be for you to want them to draft Ashton Genty?
Honestly, man, just because I feel like this team needs so much more, and I get Genty could be a very special player.
If the Jags,
I'm taking him in the second. I'm taking the second. You know, okay, yeah.
You would be
on the same
like-
page.
you would be like-
second round all day.
Okay.
All day and twice on Sundays.
But if they moved back and took him at 20th,
see, it's the first round tag.
Yeah.
And listen, it's a couple more picks to the second round. I get it, but to me, there's a big classification from being a first round pick from being a second round pick,
especially for running back.
And I think it's hard to justify taking a running back in the first round for the Jacksonville Jaguars when you have so many other pressing needs.
My roommate is actually the one who asked me this last night, the guy that you met on the beach.
Okay.
And and I was like, no, I would not take him in the first round no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
There's so many more needs. So many more needs.
And
I get ETN, fifth-year option. Yeah, we have him for one more year, and then we have Tank, who's shown a lot of flashes, but we don't know if he's, bell cow.
No, and exactly. And listen,
but
I think Genty could be I'm not saying he's Saquon Barkley because the receiving, we haven't really seen a lot of receiving from Genty like you did from Barkley in college. But I think Genty could have the same effect on a team like a Derrick Henry or like a Saquon Barkley. I think he's that good, Hamby. I really do. I really think he's a special player. But it's hard to justify when you've seen Tank Bigsby take a step forward, when you still have Travis Etienne to go, hey, you know what? Yeah, we got to help the trenches out a little bit. Yeah, interior defensive lineman, offensive line, whatever the case may be, safety. But let's go ahead and take a running back. You just can't do it. You can't justify it.
I've said it before on the show. I'm Mason Graham, sold in, sold out, whatever you want to say, in. Give me Mason Graham in the first round.
But getting back, though, so I almost give the edge, though, when we talk about Brian Thomas Jr. and Brock Bowers. Yeah, back to what we were actually talking about. I almost lean Bowers a little more. But here's the thing. I think I was surprised. I figured Brian Thomas Jr. was going to be good. Go back and listen to the audio. I say he's going to be the fantasy darling of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right. Yep.
But I wasn't expecting it to look like this. I think we all figured Brock Bowers, regardless of what team he was drafted to, would kind of fill in and kind of ball out. I don't know why we all thought that, maybe just because the size, what we saw, the athleticism in college. I mean, you know more than anybody. He's a Georgia guy. But I figured he would go anywhere that drafted him. Okay, Raiders, cool. You're going to have a pretty good season.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily foresee that. It's more of a surprise from Brian Thomas Jr. than it is about Brock Bowers. And then maybe that kind of swayed me a little bit. But you can't have the fact, regardless of who's throwing the football, regardless of how bad the team is, Brock Bowers still doing the damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument a little bit that what would Bowers' numbers look like if they still had Devontae Adams?
Yeah,
right. But since his departure, that he's literally been the only guy, him and Jacoby. So is that our Everbank game plan? Find a way to stop Bowers, and make somebody else beat you.
Yeah,
their beat up running back room.
Yep.
Jacoby Myers beating Tyson Campbell.
Listen, if Jacoby Myers goes for 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards receiving, then more power to him. Then he's about to get a new contract, I guess. But I'm not going to let the best player, and this is kind of the Patriots' way of thinking back with Bill Belichick, you can't let Brock Bowers beat you. All right? Simple as that. And on the other side of the ball, kind of more of the same, right? Feature Brian Thomas Jr., right? He's your go-to guy now. Doesn't matter if it's going to be a little slant route or a deep route. When the ball goes Brian Thomas Jr.'s way, good things happen. And let's be honest, it's like Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, okay? A lot of the receiving threats to the Jaguars right now are falling off the wayside. We got Evan Ingram in the chocolate swamp, okay? We got Christian Kirk, ate a blueberry, and now he's in the tube thing, okay? Get him out of there, please. Come back. You got Brian Thomas Jr., all right? You still have Charlie, the main character with the main character energy. So let's give him the football, please. And let's give him the keys to the kingdom that is the Chocolate Factory. What a comparison, huh?
You're cooking.
And by the way, Gary Wilkerson with an interesting comment here. I would draft another receiver before running back. Amber, your thoughts?
Yes. YB400 Mason Graham is Michigan. they have 2 of the top 3 defensive tackles in the draft.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. You're going to have 3 Michigan defensive guys probably go in the top 25?
Maybe even more, depending
maybe
on
higher
needs for DT, yeah. Mason Graham is a top 8 pick.
Yeah.
And the Grant is probably, 15 to 25, yeah.
So you would draft the receiver again before running back?
Yes, I would. But I still wouldn't prioritize that.
Yeah.
I've been the content with the weapons guy since day one on this show. And you've, even when we were talking about Calvin Ridley, Brian Thomas Jr., I thought we were good.
Yeah.
With either one of them.
So here's the
thing. As far as go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sorry, man, I didn't cut you off.
Not that I wanted Calvin Ridley, because I did not.
Sure.
But I thought if we brought him back, it was still good enough to be a good offense.
Yeah.
And now with Brian Thomas Jr. and seeing and I'm a believer in Christian Kirk. I'm a believer in Evan Ingram. I'm a believer that Gabe Davis is going to be able to be productive as your 4th option, and that's what I encourage people to go back. Look, Christian Kirk being out didn't help the situation, and BTJ wasn't being used like he could have been in the first 6 to 8 weeks of the season.
Yeah,
you run it back next year with Gabe Davis being the expectation being give us production as the number 4 option, and you will not
crazy.
You won't be that upset.
But I don't get how you go from a number 2 in Buffalo.
Yeah, well,
to.
I mean, look, you can make the argument that he was the 3 in Buffalo behind Dalton Kincaid.
Oh, Kincaid. Well.
You could say it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying,
Kincaid
Hamby,
was a
but
rookie.
No, I get what you're saying, but man, Gabe Davis won them some playoff games.
I understand.
So I'm not going to say that, but I get your argument, but I don't agree with that. But let me ask you this, because obviously this game, from this Jaguars Raiders game, in terms of must-see TV, probably not. So isn't it weird? This game, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to tune in. It's my job and obviously fantasy implications with Brian Thomas Jr.
Right.
But this game, am I wrong to think this out of every other game is just kind of I who cares a little bit, which is kind of bad to say, but I'll say it.
Yeah, this one seems like it's not division, and it's not at home.
It's not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, this is the least intriguing game.
Yeah.
On the schedule,
but
by far,
it can be intriguing in terms of draft position.
Of course.
So let's say that Brock Bowers blows the doors off the Jacksonville Jaguars and they can't stop him.
Okay.
Let's say the Jaguars lose.
Okay.
Let's say that, whatever, you're picking, I didn't want to do this exercise, but we're here. It's Friday. Let's say the Jaguars are picking 4 or 5.
Yes.
Quarterbacks could be a premium. They go up front.
Okay.
Travis Hunter's available. What do you do? Because, I mean, listen, we talk about, should we bring Travis Hunter here? All this stuff, but we've never really had the conversation of the scenario where if you're picking top 5 in the draft or whatever, number 4, and Travis Hunter actually falls to you, what do the Jaguars do with it?
Move back.
You trade it away.
Yes.
You don't take him.
I don't take him. I'll say this. When it comes to where Travis Hunter should be drafted, and whether he's a fit for Jacksonville specifically.
Sure.
I will stick up my hand and tell you that I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I don't know whether he should be the first non-QB drafted in the draft, and if it was up to us.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we use him right. I don't know what his snap count would actually look like at the professional level. If you're drafting a guy in the first round, you want him to play on your team for 15 years.
Sure. Don't.
It's not going to happen playing double snaps.
I know. Here's what makes...
And he shouldn't be penalized for that.
No, he should be celebrated for it.
Absolutely. But it's not going to happen.
But see, here's why... And I don't know how to feel about this, Hamby. Because I guess the sunshine and rainbows part of me, this is the Brent Martineau part of me, I guess, I didn't even know I had. Wants it to work out... So... wants to get Travis Hunter and say, hey, you have this unicorn. You have this guy that's going to bring such a new fan base. And this is what I think, honestly, Shad Khan and Tony Khan think about. It's if you draft Travis Hunter more than any other player, the new eyes, the new credibility, the new swag that your team's going to get is going to be off the charts. My son can't name a lot of college football players. Obviously knows Dylan Gabriel, but he knows Travis Hunter.
Right.
Like every kid knows who Travis Hunter is because I've seen Charles Woodson play multiple positions before. I've seen Jabril Peppers, but the youth these days hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And if you draft him, like it's going to create a buzz, I feel like, for the Jaguars that you haven't seen for a draft. Even maybe with Trevor Lawrence, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to be a generational type quarterback, and we were parading in the streets and everything. We were happy to get him. Brent's in the bar with a Jets jersey on at Buffalo Wild Wings, breaking Dan Hickens' back. Like, we were all pumped up. If you get Travis Hunter, I just feel like you put yourself in a new echelon. And I think Tony Khan and Shad Khan think about that. Now you still have to use him right and everything. But then, like, if that's the case, Hamby, and they do take a look at him, well, then Christian Kirk's got to be gone, right? And once again, I'm just saying the other side of it. You know how I feel about Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to bring him here, and you're going to put him at safety and just piss me all the way off. And force me to leave the network because I can't talk about the Jaguars anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait. So help me if you get Travis Hunter. It's like, he's got a decent frame. Let's put some weight on him. This guy looks like a safety. I'll lose my damn mind. But assuming that it actually works out how it's supposed to work out, and maybe he plays wide receiver and then every once in a while cornerback or whatever, Kirk's gone, right?
After next year.
So you think you keep... See, that's the thing, Hamby. That's the thing.
Don't resign him.
I disagree because you can't justify
Play the same position.
I know, but then you have Gabe Davis. So you're gonna have Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Parker Washington.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
This isn't Madden, and you can't get rid of Gabe Davis. Too much dead money, and unfortunately, I don't think anybody's gonna want Gabe Davis.
There's not a market.
There might still be a little market. You're probably gonna get fleeced a little bit, but there's a little short market. I think like for Christian Kirk.
There is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. I don't know, man. This is, and once again, and we'll go to break here, so I know we're kind of going over time. This is why I kind of, it left a bad taste in my mouth when they re-signed Walker Little. Not saying that he didn't deserve it, because we don't really know, because he hasn't been used properly. Surprise on the Jaguars. But I wanted to come into this draft and say, hey, just take the best tackle, call it a day, put it in cruise control, nothing to break down, nothing to analyze. Oh, this guy's the best tackle in college football? Cool. Welcome to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's go to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted to do. And then you re-sign Little, and now it's like, okay, are we going to go interior defensive line? Are we going to go on the edge? Are we going to go someplace, like, I didn't want to have that conversation, Hamby. Yeah. I wanted a non-sexy offensive tackle, Joe Alt type, and just say plug and play him and we're good to go. But we're past that point now. And by the way, Joe Alt, not too shabby pick for the Chargers, man. Like, I was on record saying, go wide receivers, get as many wide receivers as you can, skill position. And now I see what the Chargers have done with their offensive line and then eventually building it up with wide receivers.
Yep.
I think that's the new era, man. Shout out to, Jim Harbaugh, man, because he rebuilt it in a year. Now, hopefully the Jaguars can come in. If they do go with a new regime, hopefully that new regime can come in here and build it within a year as well.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. There are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jags Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Right now, save 10% off a new Rinnai tankless water heater. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Here on Spring Sports Media Day on Action Sports Jax.
It's an opportunity, an education beyond the classroom and the sports arena. Life skills, testing skills, social skills. It's called High School 912, a program focused on maximizing the growth of students in academics, sports, and life. And here's your chance to get involved. If you're a local business, or if you just want to make a donation to help support programs like ACT and SAT boot camps, career days, Leadership Academy, Financial Literacy Academy, and so much more.
Another Nice High School Panther, Jack Cole.
High School 912 supports and hosts high school sporting events and several media days throughout the year. For more information on how you can get involved, visit jaxhighschool912.com.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Spring Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need String Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Spring Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show. Brent Martineau on his way, might be, maybe not, on his way to Vegas, might be in Vegas, might have been, I don't know, might have been asked to leave the sportsbook. I'm not sure yet. I guess we'll find out later as he left a day early to go check out Vegas. First time Brent Martineau's been to Vegas, which is wild to me. For as long as he's covered this team, and I get it, like the Las Vegas, Raiders are kind of a newer team with the newer stadium and everything, but still wild that he's never been to Vegas before. Hamby, pushing all the right buttons, has also never been to Vegas before, which is I don't want to say as wild as Brent not being there, but still kind of crazy to me a little bit, Hamby. I mean, you're a sports guy. I figured you'd have like a baseball tournament there or something, but that's obviously more on the East Coast. But yeah, we're just holding it down here, talking some Jaguars Raiders, keeping you guys awake on a Friday. Hopefully you guys are getting prepped for the holidays and everything. If you missed our chat about Christmas movies, it is must-see TV, so go ahead and check the stream out again. We have a podcast. Is the podcast still a thing, Hamby?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, we got our podcast. You can find that on iTunes. You have the app. You have YouTube.
Spotify.
You have Twitter. You have Spotify. You have Twitch. And sometimes you have Facebook when we feel like it, I guess. We have Facebook again?
Yes.
We're back on Facebook as well, everybody. Breaking news. So, yeah, check it out. Almost had an aneurysm, almost had a heart attack because Hamby had never seen the Christmas Story, but I'm past it. I'm moving on. And we move for the last hour of the Brent and Austen show of the week. Hamby, I think we have some picks to make, my man.
Yes, we do.
Before we get into that, do we have the records of what the shows are? Because if you've been following along the whole year, we make picks every Friday. It's us. It's Miller and Moulton. It's Norvell and Young. Nope, that was wrong.
Young and Norvell.
Young and Norvell. Sorry, not Norvell. Yep, Young and Norvell. I mean, close. Give me some credit. And then it's the unnamed one, right, with Casey and Nick in the daytime?
Yep.
Okay, and then it's us. Go to the leaderboards. Tell us what we got.
So Casey did not put our picks in. So I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Okay. Well,
last week we had Army, which lost.
In devastating fashion.
Chiefs, Browns.
Chiefs dominated.
Did we have the Chiefs?
We took the Chiefs.
I think we had the Chiefs. So
Took the
1-1.
There we go.
We Dolphins or Texans? Texans.
We took the Texans.
Okay. We're 2-1.
Let's go.
Well,
I took the Texans. I don't know if you guys took the Texans or not. Who'd you take?
I thought I took the Texans.
Can't remember.
No, I took the Texans.
You and Brent have such horrible memories when it comes to the show. Okay, go ahead.
Jaguars, Jets.
Yeah, we took the Jets. Well, me and Brent took the Jets. And that came back to bite us. No, because what was the line?
No, they won by 7.
They did, didn't they?
So 3-1.
Took the Jets. Yep. Okay, 3-1.
Lions, Bills last week. We took the Lions.
That lost that one.
Because it was a 2-point game?
Well, the Bills won.
Oh, that's yeah. So 3-2.
Yes.
And then Packers, Seahawks, we crushed that one. So 4-2.
You guys did. I took the Seahawks. Thank God. Because what did I say? I said either the Seahawks are going to win by 30 or they're going to lose by like 20. Well, there you go.
I think we're up 3 or 4.
Nice, man. Beating Vegas right now. We better be a little careful. We don't need Vegas coming in here. Or maybe that's why Brent hasn't checked in, because maybe Vegas got a hold of ourselves, giving out all our tips and everything, all our picks.
That's right.
And now Vegas is kind of pissed off about it.
That's right.
Nevertheless, let's keep beating the book and let's keep winning this competition. What do we got for the picks today, Hamby?
All right, obviously we're going to start with college football.
Got to.
We got the playoff starting tonight.
Yep.
The only other game of the 4 that we are not picking is Notre Dame versus Indiana.
Okay.
That is because the No Name show was on Saturday morning, so check that out tomorrow to pick that game. They would be able to know exactly who won, so that one is being left off. So we start with SMU at Penn State. Penn State is 8.5-point favorites at home.
Hang on. You go ahead. I'm looking up something real quick. You start with this.
This week's slate, I'll say this. This week's slate is the easiest these are the easiest choices I've made all year.
Okay.
Easiest picks.
Yep.
Now, that probably means I'm going to go 0-6.
Can't wait.
Yep. But as far as just my decision making and how you guys know that sometimes I take a while with mine.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not,
it's a TED Talk.
Not this week.
We're already on the kind of the trend. Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
SMU plus 8.5.
Do you have Brent's picks?
I do.
Okay, good. So what I was looking up, I heard rumors. Game's obviously at Penn State.
Yep.
You know what the weather right now is in Penn State?
It's cold.
And?
Snowing.
A lot. Snow game, whiteout game, Penn State, prime time, against a school in SMU where Dallas, right? I don't even know where SMU is.
Yeah.
That's sad. Yeah, Dallas. We've seen, Hamby, whether it's the NFL or college games, I go back to Tulane when they took on Army. And everyone thought Vegas had Tulane at -2.5 against Army. Army embarrassed them with physicality. Let's go to the NFL. Let's go to Miami, going to Green Bay. When it wasn't even snowing or really that cold, what does Miami do? They're on fire. Lays an egg. Give me Penn State at home in the snow, in the cold, against a team from Dallas.
No problem. Brent took SMU. Okay, so that was...
Okay. I'm just saying, if this is going to be... Okay. This is the one, because we have this, Hamby. You know we do this every single week.
Yep.
There's that one game where I say something and you guys go against me, and then I'm going to text you at 12 o'clock tonight saying, told you. But anyways, all right, let's keep on going.
Clemson, 12-point underdogs.
Listen.
Against Texas. It is the largest spread in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'll start out with this one.
Yeah.
Listen, I like Texas. I like their defense. Quarterback is kind of, it's a roller coaster. Yeah, you're at home. Matthew McConaughey, all right. You got what's the, Bevo, right?
Bevo
Bevo's going to be there.
I don't know if he's going to be there.
Maybe not. Yeah, was that a rule? Didn't they make a rule where they can't have him on the sidelines or something?
Well, for the SEC championship, they didn't allow him.
Yeah, well, I mean, by the way, hey, Georgia, cry about it a little harder.
Won us.
I know. With that being said, come on, man. Like, I get Clemson's maybe not on their level, but it ain't that far-fetched. Like, I'm taking Clemson here with the points. Come on.
You know where I'm going.
Clemson, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Brent's got it too.
Okay, yeah.
I said yesterday, best bet of the week, plus 12. Gary, a 13-point.
13 points is a lot, but I'm going to be honest. So this is one of those games when Brent's in Vegas, so he might figure this out. This is this is the line where I look at Vegas and say, what does Vegas know that we don't? Honestly.
Yeah.
Because it seems like way too many points. Especially from a team that just, came off an ACC championship win that showcased their offense a little more, coming against a Texas team that couldn't finish Georgia with a backup quarterback. I don't know, man. Okay.
Vegas knows that Quinn Ewers is going to be held out with a last-second mystery injury, and
so
Arch Manning is going to play the whole game.
Going to come in, and yeah, maybe that's the case. But okay, yeah, we're all taking Clemson.
Yep, last one on this slate. In the first round of the college football playoff, we got Tennessee, 7.5-point underdogs in the horseshoe.
Yeah. I'll let you go first.
All right. 7.5 is a lot of points.
It is.
Tennessee plays great defense.
They do.
They play great defense.
Sure.
Ohio State has not been able to put up that many points against great defenses all year long. Tennessee has a better defense than Ohio State. They run the football better than Ohio State. I have Tennessee winning this game. So I'm obviously going to take Tennessee plus 7.5.
Yeah. Nick in the daytime, go and put your earmuffs on for me there, bud. I've said it before. I said it yesterday. I think if it's Oregon and Ohio State, in whatever you'll call the semifinals, I guess it would be with a quarter. Yeah, quarter. The quarterfinals. I think the winner of that game wins the national championship. I think I get it. Ohio State's only as good as their last game, and that last game against Michigan, they did not perform well.
But are they going to win by 8 points?
I'm taking the talent on paper, being at home, and being a little pissed off to lose to Michigan.
Ryan Day.
I can't really take Ryan Day because I'm not a big fan of Ryan Day. Just table him for a second. But I am taking Ohio State at -8?
-7.5.
-7.5. So -7.5 over Tennessee. I think they have a big game. I think they have a bounce back game from Michigan. Brent took Ohio State. Yeah, of course. He hates the SEC. Yeah. I already know this. Yes. Okay.
All right. So we have, as a collective, we're going 2 underdogs and 1.
Yeah. And Gary went the exact opposite with all our picks. Fantastic. Can't wait to see how that pans out.
Other baby Gary.
There you go, Gary.
Oh.
Quite the contrarian. Yes. What do you got next?
All right. We got to go to the NFL.
Let's go.
Seems like we've been picking a lot of Chiefs and Texans games.
We have been, yeah.
When they play each other, we definitely have to pick it.
Oh, man.
Chiefs hosting Houston, 3.5-point favorites.
You want to go first or should I go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
You got it.
Chiefs are at home. They've been playing tight ball games, but it's still the Chiefs. We're not a big believer in the Texans against top teams in the NFL, and they haven't really proven that they can go toe-to-toe and win on the road. No reason to go against that now. Give me the Chiefs minus 3.5, 7-point ball game.
Yeah, I kind of share your sentiments here a little bit. Especially with Isaiah Pacheco being back now as well. Could be a cold-blooded game. Could be pounding the rock. They got Mixon on the other side, but I trust the Chiefs a lot more than I do the Texans. I mean, once again, this Vegas was something that we don't because I feel like I don't know, man. But I'm also waiting for the Chiefs.
I mean, some of it could be Pat Mahomes is questionable.
Yeah,
a low ankle sprain.
No, yeah, that's true. But he was full right on Thursday.
He's gonna play.
He's playing. Yeah, I mean, how are you picking against the Chiefs? But I'm gonna. Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest though. I am waiting for them to kind of put it all together on offense and be like, hey, here's a 30-point game for everybody.
Right.
You know, like, when is that gonna happen?
Yeah, when is the 30-10 win gonna come?
Yeah, but probably not against Houston. But nevertheless, I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Brent took the Texans.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
But I'm glad,
okay.
I'm glad we're not in on that.
No, Chiefs all day. Come on, can't pick against them.
Eagles, 3.5-point favorites in D.C.
Yeah.
Divisional game.
Yeah.
Going up against the Commanders. You start.
I mean, this comes down to one thing and one thing only, and as far as I'm concerned. You know the Eagles will put up points. Can Jaden Daniels keep serving, keep pace? You know, you have Brian Robinson Jr. in the backfield. Now that Eckler's been out, he's been more of the featured back. They can pound the rock with him, but I feel like Philly, in terms of the run defense, could be a little more stout. I'm leaning Eagles here. I just think they're the better team. I like Jane Daniels a lot. I'm not sure if he's on the level yet of even really a Jalen Hurts, if you will. I think the Eagles get it done. I think the Eagles kind of showed another wrinkle now with more of their passing game after A.J. Brown threw a fit, and they had one of their best passing performances last week. You still have the best running back in the NFL, and your defense, honestly, all things considered, they can keep Terry McLaurin in check, I believe. Does Zach Ertz have a big game? Maybe, but I just don't think it's enough for the Commanders. So I'm taking the Eagles, Hamby.
Brent took the Eagles.
You're taking Washington?
I'm going to take Washington spread, Eagles money line.
Okay, so Eagles win, but it's like a 1 point.
A point.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I'm not pressed on that one.
Okay. Gary takes Washington, of course.
He did go with us in the Chiefs.
Yeah,
he's got one.
He's good. Okay, there we go.
Last one, obviously, we got to take the Jags. This line has moved a good bit. We're on the road, but we're only 1.5 point underdogs.
Yeah.
The Raiders are now the favorite. I believe at one point we were -1.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Okay.
But
so I'll just go first because I know where you and Brent are probably going to lie. Listen, when I look at these two teams, yes, there's a lot of comparisons. Average at best quarterback play. A running game that hasn't reached expectations. Some pieces to like on offense. So to me, they're almost like mirror images of each other, and what a surprise. Look at the records. Yeah, it is pretty close. What it comes down to me is what type of game is this going to be? Is it going to be a high-scoring game or is it going to be a low-scoring game, Hamby? And I think if it's a high-scoring game, it would almost favor the Raiders as much as it pains me to say it. If it's a low-scoring, nail-biting game, maybe more the Jaguars. For the sake of the show and how the show has gone when we pick the Jaguars or we don't pick the Jaguars, you know what I do. I'm taking the Raiders. You're taking the Jaguars.
Wait, Brent took the Jaguars.
Good, yeah. That's what's going to happen. And the Jaguars are going to win. Like this is more of me like trying to play along to what's kind of been our bread and butter all year with these Jaguars picks. I always pick against them. You guys both rally with each other too, except last week with the Jets would me and Brent were right. Yeah. So the Jaguars it is, right?
Look, this line is moving because, look, if it was Desmond Ridder playing quarterback.
Oh, Jaguars by 20.
Okay. But it looks like Aiden McConnell.
He's playing.
Is going to play.
Exactly.
To steal a bit from one Sterling Sharp, you can have Aiden O'Connell.
Shannon Sharp or Sterling Sharp?
Shannon, sorry.
There you good.
You can have Aiden O'Connell. You can have Rosie O'Donnell. You can have Ronald McDonald. Jaguars by 7.
Do you think playing in Las Vegas has anything to do with it? Like, you know, I mean, man, you might be right.
Are you asking me if half our team is going to be Aria in the slots before the game? No. Right, Caesar's Palace?
No, like, listen, here's my thinking. Like, I get the Jaguars probably look like the better team, and they are. But at the same time, it's like they're more comparable. I think we want to give them credit for because we don't want to call ourselves the Raiders. But, like, guess what, man? It's pretty close. And if it's pretty close, I tend to lean towards the home team. So that's why I picked the Raiders. I hope I'm proven wrong. Brock Bowers is going to have 12 catches for 204. I mean, I am nervous about that. Because, Hamby, who do you put on Brock Bowers?
Foye?
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I guess. Not going to put Lloyd on him, obviously. We've seen what coverage looks like. So, I mean, see, this is the thing. And, like, this is why a lot of things need to be addressed in the offseason in terms of, I feel like, positions and everything. But when I went from Jacksonville to Kansas City, and this was Andy Reid's first year, and I've talked about this many times on the show, you had a lot of pillars at that point in Kansas City. You had your Justin Houstons, you had your Tamba Ali's, you had your Jamal Charles, you had your Alex Smiths, you had your Travis Kelce's. You had a lot of great players on that team. The guy that's probably slept on more than anybody, and I would say Derek Johnson fits the mold as well, but the guy that I think was slept on more than anybody on that team that made the biggest difference, this was the guy that shut down Gronkowski, I want to say, in the playoffs by himself, was Eric Berry. Safety. And if Nick in the daytime was here, he'd be going crazy right now, but he's not. Eric Berry, man, was the type of guy that was such a unicorn because he played safety. He was built like a safety, but he had all the intangibles, all the athleticism, all the fluidity to be a top corner. So, like, when it came time for the Chiefs to figure out, okay, well, how do we stop Rob Gronkowski? What do? Hey, no need to double team him. No need to have zone coverage. Put Eric Berry on him.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what the number said, Hamby. Like, I want to say Gronk might have had 2 catches for, I think, like 30 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on it, but it wasn't Gronk-like. And, like, I look at a guy like maybe like a Kyle Hamilton. I don't think he's back or not. I know he got hurt in Baltimore. Like, there's freaks in nature. And heck, man, I played the Senior Bowl. You remember Taylor Mays?
Mm-mm.
I want to make sure I got that name right. Out of USC. 1 second. Yep, Taylor Mays. I remember, like, I thought Taylor Mays was going to be that guy as well. Because this dude was 6'3", 236 pounds. I want to say he ran like a 4.4 safety out of USC. Had all the physical attributes, just whatever reason, I guess, didn't have it between the ears. Didn't really figure it out. First round pick, though, made some money. Good for him. My point, though, is like, man, I get we're talking about, interior-wise, but, man, if you can get a safety, a big-bodied safety that's just a guy with bad intentions, a la like an Eric Berry, a la like a Kyle Hamilton, I mean, that can do something for your team as well. And I'm not sure if those guys, I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't really looked at the mock drafts yet or anything. I'm not sure who the top safeties are or whatever, like, or the big corners who could play safety. I have no idea. But I get, like, we're so focused right now on defense and in terms of interior and the edge and all that stuff, and maybe linebackers. I get all of it. But don't make any mistake about it. A big-bodied safety who's athletic can do a lot of things for you as well. And when it comes time to play the Sam Laportas, when it comes time, if you're in the playoffs, Jacksonville, and maybe one day the Raiders will be in the playoffs too, and you're taking out a Brock Bowers, maybe Dalton Kincaid finally figures it out, players like that, mismatch nightmares, you want to have a safety where you can just go, we're not worried about it. We don't need to change anything up. You take him man to man and let's see what happens. One day, maybe we'll have that. Hey, let's go to a break here.
Phoenix Sun, Capri Sun, Mohegan Sun, Sun about to set.
By the way, you said Sterling Sharp, Hamby. Did you ever hear my Sterling Sharp story real quick?
I would love to.
So Sterling Sharp, Green Bay Packer, right?
Yep.
So I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and I had a Sterling Sharp rookie card back when he was kind of thriving and everything. And I remember thinking, okay, well, this card might be worth a little bit. It's probably worth nothing, but this card might be worth a little bit. But you know what's worth more? Autographed cards.
Right.
So went in my grandma's cabinet, pulled out a black Sharpie. I'm learning cursive in grade school. Let me go ahead and write Sterling Sharp's name on the card.
Oh my goodness.
I did it, and now here's why it sticks out to me. So this is one of my very first memories of my entire life. I was probably 5 or 6. My mom chewed my ass out. Austen, what the, and I'm like, what? It's an autograph. I autographed it. It's worth more now. I had no idea. I didn't know how autographs worked. I just figured if you put their name on a card and marker, it's going to be more. I was trying to hustle. Didn't know it had to actually be his autograph. So, yeah, that's my Sterling Sharp story for you there, Hamby. Needless to say, kids, if you're listening, should be at school, but if you're listening, Christmas break, don't autograph your own cards, okay? Get it done by the athlete. Let's go to break, Hamby.
No problem.
Or do you want me just to kind of segue out of here a little bit?
By the way, I was just responding to Chad. He's asking me if Malachi Starks is coming out. He's the safety from Georgia.
Yes.
Kind of, I guess, what he's trying to get out of this. Because he beat
Kyle Hamilton-ish, Eric Berry-ish.
He's not as tall, but he's definitely coming out. He'll be a late first-round pick, in my opinion. He's actually lost just a tad of money as well. He's trying to make up for other players because he's been playing 3 different positions for Georgia this year because he's that versatile.
Who's he, Trayvon Walker?
No, he's safety, born and bred.
No, I know, but I'm saying playing multiple positions.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he's been playing a lot of
Georgia
star, and but he can play everywhere, so he's gonna be a first round pick for sure.
All right, Hamby, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, I guess do we got some Blake Bortles stuff we want to go over? Brent sent us today.
The boat.
I don't know. I don't know if we have some boat comments. I'm not sure where Brent's taking us here. I mean, he's not taking us to Vegas, but he's taking us someplace here regarding Blake Bortles. We'll talk about that next year in the Brent and Austen Show. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, I guess
Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served. 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579. Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices or pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com. Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Bobby Witt Jr. had a Whataburger restaurant at his wedding reception.
My new favorite player.
In Dallas. Dude, I'm not mad at that whatsoever.
Hey, guess what?
That's cool.
Neither were any of his guests, I bet, either.
Oh, dude. So, Hammy, I'm not sure what your catering is going to be looking like here. When I got married, we had a food truck. It was a taco truck.
Ooh, that's
didn't have the catering, or just like literally whenever you want, whenever you're feeling hungry, go up to the truck, get yourself a quesadilla, get yourself a taco, get yourself a burrito. We got you, man. Like, rave reviews. Rave reviews. Yeah, I was happy with that one. Yeah. Could have been happy.
Where's my Whataburger chain at?
And then also we didn't have a traditional like cake. Norwegian pie bar. You're welcome. Maybe apple's not your thing. We got cherry. Maybe cherry's not your thing. Try rhubarb. We don't have rhubarb. Pumpkin. Like, yeah, dude. Damn. Pie bar. Any kind of pie you want, we had you. By the way, Hamby, real quick, and then we'll get back to sports. We asked this to Jason Fitz one time, I believe, and it sparked a giant debate that stemmed over to social media for a while. Pie or cake?
Pie.
Hands down, right?
Yeah.
People in the chats, please roll with us as well. It's not even close.
No. So many more options. It's more rich. Yeah.
Yeah, like the cake is. It's too much just fluff. It's too much filler.
Yeah.
Like just bread. Nah, give me the filling. Give me the fruitiness. Give me the the tartness. Give me the richness. Man, I should be on the Food Network. But long story short, yeah, it's pie all day.
We need a local pie sponsor.
Yeah. Oh, now we're talking. So, fun fact about where I'm from, Hamby, Iola, Scandinavia, Wisconsin, town of 1,300. We're known for two things. We're known for an old car show, which is probably, I think it's like the biggest car show in the Midwest. We have 200,000 people come to our town every single year for said car show. That's insane. Traffic is, it's a nightmare because we don't have a stoplight. So figure it out. But we were also known for this place called Crystal's Cafe. And they have like, if you type in like Discover Wisconsin, which is kind of like the Wisconsin tourism thing.
Hey, Gary.
Chicken pot pie. I'm gonna come back to that real quick.
I'm sorry.
No, but I'm gonna come back to that. I'm glad he said something about chicken pot pie. But when we talk about pies, though, Crystal Cafe, some of the best in Wisconsin. So if you ever find yourself in Iola, Wisconsin, or if you're in Green Bay for a Packers game or something playing the Jaguars, check out Crystal Cafe, Iola, Wisconsin. You'll have some of the best pies ever. Now, getting back to chicken pot pie, I'm gonna be honest, Hamby. I've had many chicken pot pies in my life.
Oh, I'm a fan. Big fan.
Because here's my issue with chicken pot pie.
Come on.
It's just okay.
No.
It's like chili to me. Where like it can be gourmet. It can be like heated up from like a Stouffer's thing. It's kind of all the same.
All right, hold on. Yes or no? Chicken pot pie?
Okay. Oh, just in general?
Yes. Pot roast.
Yeah.
Shepherd's pie.
What's shepherd's pie again?
It's like the cheese with the beef and
oh yeah, that's the Irish thing.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I used to eat that all the time at Tilted Kilt. It's a restaurant. Yes. What? What's wrong with Tilted Kilt?
Tilted Kilt.
You know, but what? No. Don't judge me. It's not like Hooters. Stop. No, there ain't no way. No, I'm not gonna hear any bad mouthing of Tilted Kilt. They had good food there.
All right, let's just go back to Gary. How did he get there, though? I understand that it's pie, but that's not what we're talking about.
I was unloading my truck and had to chat and chicken pie. Yeah, seriously. Okay, a shepherd's pie is fine. I'm gonna be honest. Chicken pot pie, like unless there's like some grandma's recipe that came up through the ages that I've never had before, chicken pot pie is just whatever.
That warm crust.
It's fine. But it all tastes the same.
I'm hungry right now, brother.
It's fine. You see what I'm saying, though, Hamby? Like, have you ever had a chicken pot pie that was like, oh, wow, like this one is just better than the others? Yeah. No. Whose?
Granny's.
Granny's? Seriously? Does she make a good... Are you Italian? What are you?
No, I don't even know, brother.
Oh, okay. Well, 23andMe for Christmas, but
Europeans.
Okay, she's European.
I mean, we're in the continent.
So does she add like something special to it, or is it just chicken pot pie?
I don't know. I just remember. I don't know.
We'll go and ask her, man. Okay, well, let me ask you this, Hamby. Is it the fact that it tastes really good, or is it more of nostalgia because it reminds you of your... Because see, that's what I had with Lutefisk. And by the way, for Lutefisk, Lutefisk. It's a Norwegian delicacy. And when I say Lutefisk, go and Google it. A lot of people will tell you it is one of the most disgusting things on the planet.
Really?
I had a conversation with Andrew Zimmerman, and Andrew Zimmerman, I think, from Bizarre Foods, who said that he wouldn't even eat it. Like, he doesn't even like it. It's codfish that's been soaked in lye. Lye being like what you'd find in chemical hair products, things like that. You soak it in lye, you soak it in water, you soak it in salt water, you soak it in regular water. And why do they soak it in lye? Because it preserves it. Because back in the day when the Vikings were going to do their thing and kill everybody and pillage and all that stuff, you had to have fish that would stay good on a ship for a long time. That's where lutefisk came into play. And now, if you come from a Norwegian culture, every once in a while, whether it's your birthday, whether it's the holidays, you'll eat it. So it reminds me of my grandma, number one. But number two, like, I grew up eating it, and it's one of my favorite dishes now. And by the way, the best way to describe it, it smells like, well, number one, it smells like chemicals, but it looks like a gelatinous blob.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Are you seeing pictures of it?
Yeah.
It's gnarly, right?
Looks disgusting.
I should bring some in sometime for you.
I'm not.
Live reaction. Hey, you're gonna man up and try it, okay? For the sake of our show and ratings, you're gonna try it, and so is Brent. Now, let's get back to sports. What do we got on the docket here, Hamby?
We got a man by the name of Blake Bortles.
The boat.
Okay. So this was a couple of days ago, I believe 2 days ago, that Brent put this up on his Twitter.
Okay.
Saying this was
along with 200 other tweets.
Right, there was 200 others to go along with it, but this was a big one.
Okay.
And he was pretty much just saying like he had taken this picture 7 years ago today, right? Or a couple days ago.
Okay, so maybe it popped up like in his Facebook memories or something like that.
Right.
So he decided to reshare.
He just put it back up there.
Now,
and this was one of Bortles' best stretches.
Okay.
As you can see,
now,
26 and 35 for 309.
Now, before we get into this, here's what I think happened. I assume that Brent posted this and got a lot of hate because this stretch right here might be better than anything that Trevor Lawrence has had so far. That's I have no idea where this is going. All I saw in the rundown, we're talking about Blake Bortles and Brent Martineau. I didn't know why, but that's what I assume happened here.
There's some of that.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Let's. So the point of this is to go back to the comments because it was there was quite a few comments from Jags faithful, I guess you could say. Well, we start with this guy says one of the most overrated players in Jags history.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's actually hate for Blake Bortles. Interesting. Okay.
Yep. Better than Trevor.
Better than Trevor. Sure.
This one says, kind of sad what the Jags did to him. Got rid of all of his weapons. Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson after 2017 left him with no talent receivers.
Dude, the Allen Hurns, Allen Robinson.
Horrible O-line. His entire tenure here was not all the boat fault.
Okay.
Okay. Bortles' highs were better than Lawrence's highs, if we're being honest.
I mean, you can make an argument. Like, for instance, Blake Bortles' best year was actually pretty unreal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot goes into it just besides stats, right? But just for the sake of this argument here. Blake Bortles' best year, which I forgot what year
15.
that was. Yeah, 15. 35 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, 4,428 yards passing. Trevor Lawrence's best year. Give me a second. Do you think it's going to be close, Hamby? You think it's going to be comparable?
It's going to be like, I think, 31 tuds for Lawrence and like 14 picks.
Yeah, I think that was the case, wasn't it?
With fumbles thrown in there?
Well, let's not go to the fumbles. It's only going to depress me. Oh, of course, it just doesn't pop up like you want it to on Trevor Lawrence. Nevertheless, yeah, I think Blake Bortles has the better number. All right, keep going. Sorry, I actually found it.
Okay, go ahead.
Best season was 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,113 yards passing.
Yeah. There's less of both.
I mean, 35 versus 25.
But the picks.
Yeah, 18 picks compared to 8 picks. I mean, with all due respect to Trevor Lawrence, I'd probably taken Blake Bortles' numbers there.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay, anyways.
I would rather Trevor over Blake, but I think Blake...
obviously.
This is the tweet.
Oh, sorry. I thought this is you saying. Okay.
I would rather Trevor over Blake, but I think Blake rated a 5 out of 10 and Trevor a 6 out of 10. Trevor can throw a little better. We should trade Trevor now. Maybe some other team could do for him what the Vikings did for Darnold.
Huh. All right, so here's what I think. I think Blake Bortles, where he was drafted, what expectations were, I think he maxed out the potential. He took you to an AFC Championship game. Should have won said game, set aside from a play here and a play there. And you would have talked about him in the realm of a Super Bowl quarterback. Now, do they win the Super Bowl? Who knows? But like just going to the Super Bowl does a lot for you.
Right.
The issue with Trevor Lawrence is that, like, listen, when they drafted, I remember when they drafted Blake Bortles, I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like, well, let's see. I mean, I was still technically on the team at the time. I'm like, okay, let's see. I mean, we needed a quarterback. Makes sense. Okay. When they drafted Trevor Lawrence, people were partying in the streets, Hamby. People were finally, here comes the Super Bowl that we all been waiting for. That's what it seemed like. Like there was so much excitement. Like the Blake Bortles draft was like, okay, yeah, we need a quarterback. This makes sense. The Trevor Lawrence draft was, thank God, finally, of all the bad times, we've finally been awarded by the football gods, Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
So that's a difference to me. I think Blake Bortles maxed out or came close to maxing out the potential, and I think Trevor's still trying to scratch the surface. What else you got?
I'll have two more. It says, my favorite player of all time could have been a full-time starter elsewhere if he didn't lose passion for the sport. Sad face.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's telling, and Brent always says this, that how he doesn't have a job in the NFL still is beyond him, and especially when, like Blaine Gabbert's still doing the thing, I feel like,
right.
When you saw the laundry list of backup quarterbacks that the Dolphins had that couldn't throw Tyreek Hill a football.
Right.
My argument is this. I feel like if you're good enough at the quarterback position, they'll find a spot for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying Blake Bortles wasn't good enough, but, once again, I think mentality, I think between the ears has a lot to do with the position. I don't think Blake Bortles necessarily had a lot of that. Like, do you get the vibe that Blake Bortles was the type of guy that would get in front of the room and drop zone coverages and here's where you go, you look off to? Like, I don't think so. I think he was more of just, once again, like he was more of just like the gunslinger, which isn't a bad thing. Brett Favre was a gunslinger. I don't know how much Brett Favre, what about the X's and O's? But I think if you talk about a backup quarterback role, you got to be able to navigate through X's and O's. And I'm not sure Blake Bortles could do that.
Yeah.
So
last one, they never tried to bear with Blake. They made him the bad guy.
I mean, they paid him.
Yeah. Oh, I'll do one more. Coincidentally, these are the only teams Bortles played well against. Going back to that graphic, we do have some that. We're glad. So
yeah, no, I mean it was a fun time here in Jacksonville with him, just because to me, and I get we want to throw Minshew in that category as well, but to me, Bortles was the personification of what Jacksonville is.
Yeah,
and. I thought he fit that mold well. Like I spoke to him a couple of times. It's just saying hi and passing. I've never had a long conversation with him. Even when we're on the team together in the spring, I didn't really get a chance to talk to him a lot. But he always I don't know, man. See, I want to celebrate how cool the guy Blake Bortles was, and just how much of an everyday guy. Yeah, you could go have a beer with him. That's great. But then I sit here and I wonder, well, those are good characteristics to have maybe if you're a linebacker or if you're an offensive lineman or if you're a defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
But are they the characteristics that you want to have as a quarterback? And the answer is probably no. And that's the double standard again, right? If you want to be a quarterback in this league, and I'm not saying it's right or fair, but it's just the way that it is, you almost got to, carry yourself in this certain standard in this certain way, and you can't go on Barstool, and you can't drink beers in public, and you can't do all this stuff. Once again, I'm not saying it's wrong or right that you can do that. It's just I just feel like so much comes with being the face of a franchise where you got to act differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Blake Bortles fell in that mold. Now I celebrate him because of that, but also I understand maybe that's why he didn't get a longer career and other opportunities elsewhere. Oh, yeah, paint the play.
Here we go.
Real quick. Hamby, I want to paint the play, but I have a giant thing in the middle of the screen. Do you see what I'm going through here? Probably not, but...
No,
Actually, it's on both my screens. Can you it says, let's cross this one off the list. Your organization manages your update setting. Can you update the settings real quick on my screen? Yeah, forget it. Screw it.
What do you got?
Look at my screen. I have a giant warning thing on my screen, so I can't see paint the play. But it's fine. It's all good. Just put it up there.
Here we go. We ran a trick play, kind of.
So, yeah, this is the play of Duvernay, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is what we want to see all year, I feel like, from Doug Peterson a little bit. Now, once again, keep in mind, I have a giant warnings thing in front of my screen, so all I can see is the 40-yard line, the old school, a bit of the Jaguars logo, and it looks like Walker Little is just kind of searching for work. That's all I can see. But I'll break it down anyways, got to remember this play. So, yeah, basically this was what? The boot out to the right side of the field, kind of a misdirection, if you will. Right? And on the other side, you have number 12, is that?
Yep.
Devin Duvernay?
Yep.
Waiting in the wings. No one's paying attention to him. Why would you? The guy's playing special teams. Well, you roll out and everything. It's going to the Jets' left, and all of a sudden, what do? They get the ball to Devin Duvernay in space. Now, I've been very adamant that I didn't want to repeat history with what happened with Jamal Agnew. A fantastic return man, just like Duvernay is, but I didn't want to use him so much where you run the risk of injury and now you lose your big special teams guy. Well, we've seen Duvernay sparingly through the season and everything, but you've had to use him more now because, well, injuries are a thing. Whether it's Gabe Davis, whether it's Christian Kirk, like you got to get guys on the field. So Duvernay now has seen an uptick in terms of usage, and this is how you use Devin Duvernay. You don't got to target him 10 times a game, but what you do need to do is have some exotic formations with some misdirection and then get him the ball in space. And we see a block right here. Hamby, who's that block by? Because I can't see.
That looks like Sheriff.
Picked a hell of a day to have this warning thing come on my screen.
That is Walker Little.
Walker Little. Okay, so Walker Little was searching for work, and guess what? Walker Little found work. You love to see it.
Sheriff.
Can't. Okay, so we got Sheriff running with Duvernay. Like, listen, this was a little like dink and doink kind of play, but when you mix in misdirection, when you get a little creative and you get the ball in Speedster's hands, this is what happens. And Hamby, once again, without the risk of losing my mind because I can't really see the play, let me ask you this question. Where was this type of stuff the whole season? Or did we just kind of miss it?
It's a great question. I haven't seen it.
Haven't really seen it, right? Like, yeah, maybe Doug Peterson took over play calling and everything, and that's fine. But where was this the whole season? I felt like when the Jaguars were making their playoff run, Doug Peterson would be in his bag with these plays. Like you saw one of these plays at least once a game, sometimes twice a game with Agnew or whoever the case. We love them. I'm just wondering, where have they been? And that was paint the play by that one painter first coast. Maybe they could paint over my warning label on my screen. That would be great because I couldn't see anything, but it's all right, man. I'm a professional. I'll get the job done. Hammy, we got about 3 minutes left here. Sports Illustrated getting ready to release their Athlete of the Year, Hamby. Who you got for Athlete of the Year? Now, do you want to hear my thing first?
Yes.
All right. Here's what I think Sports Illustrated should do. Okay, so the title, Athlete of the Year. Here's what you do, Hamby. You X it out. You X out athlete, and you put league, and you put the WNBA.
Bruh.
Oh, are you disagreeing?
Why are we subbing out an athlete for a league?
Because I think the biggest story in sports this year was the WNBA. It wasn't just one athlete. It was the entire WNBA. It was Angel Reese. It was Caitlin Clark. It was viewership. No?
No, I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah,
I wasn't prepared to sub out the whole prompt.
No. Hey, go ahead and say, Austin, that's a great idea because that's what that is.
Great.
No.
Great.
Okay, so who do you have? I mean, obviously Otani, I think it's kind of the no-brainer.
Yeah, I was going to go Otani. I was going to throw Caitlin Clark in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would almost leave. I know. I mean, Ray Gun? You laugh like it's funny. You laugh like she wasn't the biggest meme of the year.
I don't know.
No, I'm kidding, but
maybe I'm trying to think. I'm honestly trying to think of memes instead of actual.
Well, no, let's think of athletes. Like, yes, Saquon was a meme, but like, no, I think it'll be Otani just because the guy is a unicorn himself. But I think if they want to do something cool and something precedent, and I get like, do you want to cater to the woke movement? It's got nothing to do with it. The biggest story this year was the WNBA. Hands down. Because how else have we ever talked about the WNBA before this season? I haven't. Nobody has. All right, man. That's it for the show today. Have a great weekend. Hey, Jason Hamby, push all the right buttons. Brent Martineau in Vegas. I'm Austen Lane. Stay safe. Stay casual. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
Another exciting week of basketball for the Ospreys of North Florida, both at home and on the road. The men's basketball team started off the week on Thursday at home with a 115-83 win over Warner. It was a huge night for Ospreys freshman Josh Harris, who dropped 26 on 11 of 14 shooting to go along with his 14 boards in 27 minutes. Then on Saturday, the Ospreys traveled to Statesboro to take on Georgia Southern. UNF found themselves down 17 in the second half, but came storming back to force overtime. Unfortunately, the Ospreys couldn't complete the full comeback as they fall 93-91. Both the men and the women are back at UNF Arena this week as the men take on UNC Greensboro and the women take on UNC Asheville. Both games are on Saturday. And remember, you can find schedules, results, tickets, and more at UNFOspreys.com.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Right now, save $1,000 or more when you bundle a Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
New to town or always been in town? Everyone is always looking for a good pizza place. Our place is Donato's Pizza. We love it and still do love it. When I tell my family I'm coming to Donato's, they say, wait a minute, you got to order some for us. So this is not all for me. Let me tell you what the Martinos get when we put an order in. Well, pepperoni pizza, we usually get more than one of these. And then there's the works, a little bit of everything. And then this is the pizza that can be polarizing for some out there. I don't know why. Hawaiian pizza. Some love it, some don't. At Donato's, you're going to love it, especially with that cinnamon sprinkled on top. Try the pizza my family likes or try your favorite. Right now, you can use the code BRENT20 and get 20% off your order. Every viewer and listener is important to us. And at Donato's Pizza, every piece is important. From fresh ingredients to the dedicated team members and you, the valued customer. Donato's Pizza, where every piece comes together for a winning combination.